Can we sit down? No interruptions. Open dialogue without judging. Dope discussions. Dope discussions. Talking real raw. Ain't no cutting. Open dialogue without judging. Dope discussions. Dope discussions. Can we talk about it? Yeah. Can we talk about it? Yeah. Can we talk about it? Yeah. Talk about it? Yeah. Can we talk about it? Yeah. Can we talk about it? Yeah. Talk about it? Yeah. Can we sit down? No interruptions. Open dialogue without judging. Dope discussions. Dope discussions. Talking real raw, ain't no cutting. Open dialogue, talk without judging. Dope discussions, dope discussions.
Can we talk about it? Yeah. Welcome everybody to our dope discussion. Today we are joined by my lovely, wonderful, responsible husband, and we're going to be talking about how a lot of females of today have this impression as far as it comes to responsible men. They say that they are boring, they're lame, they're square, the whole nine. And so what I wanted to do was bring on my husband that is a responsible man to kind of gauge his opinion as far as this is concerned. Is it something that he's been through? Is it something that he's witnessed? And I want to, again, just get his perspective and his take on it. But you guys, before we go ahead and get started, I want to ask you guys to please like the video, share the video, and subscribe. We do appreciate you guys for pulling up. I know we're a little bit later in the day on this Sunday, but y'all know my husband is a responsible working man. And so, I got to work around his schedule. But welcome, my love.
Peace. What's happening, everybody?
So I recently came across a post. It was on Facebook. And last week, it was a whole, debacle as far as Michael B. Jordan is concerned with, his former classmate calling him corny and whatever. But on Facebook, I came across this right here. Let me see if I can pull it up. And it just really sparked me to go ahead and try to dive into the dope discussion even further. But this is what it said. Okay. As you can see, it had 1.3 million views. Who knows how many likes and shares or whatever. But this lady says, Michael B. Jordan is cute, but doesn't have any edge. He just look, I don't know, responsible. He look like he know where his birth certificate at. My love, I want to ask you, do you feel like a lot of females today have this weird obsession with men being irresponsible, and why do you think that is?
Yeah, I definitely, I don't even think, I know for a fact that a lot of women, especially in America, black women in America have an obsession with irresponsible men for sure. And I feel like that's primarily because of, circumstances, conditioning, and things along those lines. And again, let's be honest, a lot of them, the single parent situation. So a lot of them are comfortable dealing with children. And that's the type of men that they actually want.
Oh,
so.
Oh, that's a good point, Milan. So you feel like, due to a lot of females maybe being raised by a bunch of single mothers that may have dealt with a lot of childish, immature, irresponsible guys, you know, that may make them more comfortable with being around those type of guys when they get older.
That's 100% because I was reading a book a while back and it said basically how we are now. A lot of that is a reflection of our upbringing. So these people not you gotta just understand like if a chick is 40 and she dealing with irresponsible men as a preference, she didn't just wake up one day at 40 and decide I like irresponsible men. There's something that stems from like her childhood. This is developing, it's ongoing and things along those lines. She didn't just wake up at 35 and say, oh, I like irresponsible men. So this was something that she was taught, she saw it growing up, and that's how that develops.
Wow. And then it makes it no better that we end up perpetuating that cycle when we have our sons. So we get with these guys that reflect back to us what we're familiar with or what we're used to growing up with, maybe our aunts or our mothers or our grandmothers, who knows, sisters, dealing with irresponsible men. Then we get with those irresponsible men and we procreate with them. And then we raise our sons to be irresponsible men. And so all around us, we just have these examples or these reflectors back to us as far as what we deem to be a real man or, a good man or somebody that is ideal for us to be with.
That's a good point. And you also got the control factor too that we cannot ignore.
Okay.
So a lot of these women, due to how society is these days, they have given women all the power. So women got to maintain that power, and one way to maintain your power is to date somebody that's weaker than you. So of course I'm not gonna date somebody that has a higher mind state or mindset than me. That's gonna throw off the power dynamic. So when it comes to the relationships these days, they have given black women all the power and they have put black men at the bottom. So in order for black women to maintain that power structure or power dynamic, they got to get with the dude that's underneath them, to maintain that control. And a lot of these women have gotten comfortable with control, so they not about to date a dude that's going to challenge that, So again, we got to look at that factor as well. They not about to get with a dude that can throw off their control. They ain't going for that.
Very interesting. We can't hit 300, you guys. We appreciate you guys for pulling up. Let me go ahead and get to these super chats, and we're going to continue this dope discussion. Again, we are joined by my responsible husband, Mr. Eric Bell, fresh off of work from the gym, running the business. And so we appreciate him for giving us his time. I know you're tired, my love, but we appreciate it. We need the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Amen. Thank you, Player Parlaya. It says, for my favorite power couple, Brother Bell in the building. Peace, King.
Peace.
Peace to you, Player Parlaya. And your name just cracks me up every time. I got to give Player Parlaya a wrench just for that. Thank you, David. It says, looking responsible is a turnoff. Let us permanently divide ourselves from this ignorance. Yeah, and it's something that you don't want to acknowledge or say out loud, but this is a thing. Like, a lot of females find that to be corny, lame. They don't want a man that knows where his birth certificate is, apparently. I don't want a man that has his priorities together. Like, it's something about that is a turn on to a lot of women. I really want to explore the conversation. And luckily, I have my husband here to help me dive further into it. And that was a good point that you made earlier as far as what we're used to.
Now, let's not remember, too, historically speaking, all the responsible black men got dealt with. We didn't got assassinated. We didn't got, you know what I'm saying? So that's another factor into this situation, too. All the responsible black men have gotten dealt with. The world don't like a responsible black man. It's not just black women. Like, the world don't like us at all. So when you are a responsible brother, like, you got a lot of enemies, and they trying to, y'all know what it is. I ain't gonna get too deep off into the trenches, man, but y'all know what it is when it comes to responsible black men, period. So we got to understand that dynamic as well. So the world don't like us. When they see a responsible black man, when they see an educated black man, we are public enemy number one. And that's another reason why black women gravitate towards that, because they done saw what happens to that responsible black man subconsciously. So they feel like if they get with this responsible brother, he not going he ain't gonna make it too far. He gonna have a lot of enemies. You know, a lot of doors gonna close in his face and whatnot.
Oh,
you know,
that's a very good point.
So we gotta understand that too. They reward these irresponsible brothers for real. Like,
oh yeah, put a pin in that, Mala. I want to come back to that, but you know my mind be when I read the super chat. So I do want to go back to that though. Thank you, David. It says I'm about to make some shirts that says, X, I'm responsible. And then another shirt that says, I'm corny, lame, and got my passport. Lord have mercy. You come to damn passports. So shout out to you, David. Hold on. Who else I see? Thank you, the Black Muslim. It says, they think we can't throw the D, but the more you play around, the more you find out. Now I'm at the police station for a restraining order. What? They think we can't throw the D. I don't know, but appreciate you, the Black Muslim. Okay, did you get that, my love? Is he talking about throwing the penis?
I'm assuming.
So is he saying that a lot of females feel like a responsible guy don't know how to lay the pipe?
I'm assuming.
And then they try to test y'all gangster, and then before you know it, you know, like, look, hold on now. Hold on now. Because just because I'm responsible and respectable don't mean you can play games with me. And yes, I do got this D work. So maybe that's what the Black Muslim is talking about. We're not sure. Okay. Thanks again, Player Parlay. It says, if being responsible and lame keeps me away from low value women, then I will proudly be that. Lord have mercy. Yeah, and that's also something else. You know, a lot of these females, they make it so easy for men to pass them up and pass them by. And it ends up being a quote-unquote blessing in disguise for a lot of guys when these females show their true nature and character as far as what they deem to be the ideal men, you know? Thank you, Tokyo. It says, if these women don't want a man who knows where his birth certificate is, then they shouldn't want the men who know where their passports are either. Lord have mercy. Don't get these damn passport bros in here. Hold on. Another one. Thank you, Brandon. It says, I'm a damn proud nerd and lame guy. Those same women who shaded me in high school are overweight, single moms with multiple babies. It's laughable how a 20-year-old high school reunion smack reality in their face. Peace, Mr. Bell.
Peace.
Thank you. Swag, it says, military and passport said, I gotta know where my birth certificate is. Lord have mercy. Here y'all go. But, I mean, you need your you need to be responsible, and you need your birth certificate. And I know this is a silly post, but it really speaks to the fact that they are used to dealing with guys who don't have their business or their ducks in a row, because you need that. Like, you need to know where your license is and, you know, your important documentation. Like that speaks to the fact that you have a lot going on for yourself, that you have things that you have set in motion and all of that. So if a man does not have those things in order or does not know what those things are, I mean, what is he doing? You know what I'm saying? But we're going to get into it. Thank you, D-Pain. Peace, King and Queen, showing love on a Sunday. Peace. We appreciate it. We can't hit 400, you guys. Y'all like the video, please. The Black Muslim says, that's exactly what I was talking about. Also, your king is on point with what he is saying, because they do come after us and they can't control us. Facts. And that's what I want to get into. Thank you, Montel. I think the females find weird things or ways to get upset. It's honestly dumb and pointless and does nothing. Very silly. Yeah. But peace to all of y'all. If I miss anybody, I apologize. I think I got everybody though. But I wanted to touch base on what you said earlier, my love. Remind me.
I said the world doesn't like responsible black men.
Yes. So like the world doesn't like responsible black men. And so what they're showing us in media is a bunch of degenerates, a bunch of low vibrational, dumb, those type of guys. And they are, like you were saying earlier, they are pedestalizing those type of guys, making them look like they are the men in these streets. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, he doesn't have a legitimate business and he doesn't know where his birth certificate is and all of that. But look at him, he's fly. And look at him, he got all this money that he's wasting and blowing. And look at him, he got all the bad bitches. And so it can feed it into our minds that, hey, this is the type of guy that we should be going after. I don't want a responsible man, because the responsible men, they don't get opportunities handed to them. Responsible men, they get doors shut in their faces, and responsible men, they are not able to splurge and live the lavish life. But like you were saying in so many words, that's kind of how they have it designed. Is that what you're saying? They have it designed that way?
Yeah, they 100% have it designed that way. See, a lot of times responsible black men equates to struggling. That's how they got it designed. When you are a responsible black man and you're not selling out, you staying true to your roots and staying true to self, that gets associated with struggle. And we already know the sisters don't want to deal with a brother that's struggling. But when you are a responsible brother, man, and you on your you crossing all your T's, dotting all your I's, and you staying true to yourself, a struggle is going to be a part of your process. So if a sister is not understanding that, and most of them, they may understand it, but they don't accept it. They're going to go after what the media is telling them to go after, which are the dope boys. And which is crazy, because some of these dudes rapping about the dope boys, but they not really that. So that's the funny part about it. So a lot of the stuff that they show us in the media, these people don't actually live that life, but they got the women chasing that. And this, like I said, this stuff ain't starting in their 30s and 20s. This stuff starts when we are little. So when we start looking at what type of men these women are attracted to, it all stems from when we were boys and girls. Like these boys that they were attracted to, like they grow up and then they are attracted to these boys that have become so-called men, as far as like age is determined. But it all starts when we are little. It all starts. Like those dudes that was getting called lame and corny, those are the ones that own the businesses. Those are the ones that's entrepreneurs and things like that. So that all of that stuff stems from that. Like all of the bad boys and whatnot that was always in detention, suspended, things like that. Those are the ones that the girls was after. When we was 6, 7, 8, 9, when you was one of them, like the girls rock with you. These same girls grow up and they gravitate toward the same type of men. So again, we got to always look at what was happening when we was little. We got to look at how the childhood shaped the mentality when they become adults.
Yes. Thank you, Shedrick. It says responsible men also have a plan that is bigger than a short-term dopamine fix. The work towards that plan, or I think he meant say they work towards that plan, and that vision is boring as fuck. But in the end, it rewards the life that is desired by the wise. Facts. Love that. Thank you, Player Parlayer. Responsible men will hold women accountable. That's also true. But I wanna say this too, though, because you said that a lot of these females, they are going after, the dope boys and all of that, because, when it comes to the responsible men, you guys don't have a lot of opportunities, whatever the case is.
It ain't even that we might not even have opportunity. We just ain't going for some BS, so they may think that we should take this job over here because it's offering more money, but like it don't fall in line with our principles. So we like, nah, we not selling ourselves out and things like that. To me, that's what a responsible man is. You know what I'm saying? That's part of it. So it might not be that we ain't having opportunities. We just, like you said, we got a plan and we sticking to that plan and we gonna execute it by any means necessary. So we might not travel in a direction that she want us to travel in, but we gonna hit this end goal. You know what I'm saying? But we just ain't going in a certain direction that they may feel like we should be going down, and I've seen that cause a lot of problems. Like, nah, I know what it is that I'm aiming towards. I'm going to get it by any means. You think I should go this way, but I know for a fact if I go that way, it's going to derail my vision and my plans, and that can cause a lot of friction as well.
But what I was trying to say is, they pass up these responsible men for whatever dumb reason, thinking that, maybe your success is limited or whatever the case is, or short-lived or whatever. But when they get with the dope boys and guys like that, those guys end up in jail, dead. You know what I mean? So what are we really doing? Like, we are actually setting ourselves up for failure right then and there by going after and pursuing guys that will not be able to be around for us and provide for us any opportunities.
It's the thrill. It's short term. You know, like in the fitness space that I'm in, like we want results ASAP. We don't want to wait 10 years. We don't want to wait 5 years. So when you're dealing with a brother that's responsible, all the fun, all that type of stuff might come later down the line. When you're dealing with a dope boy, that's instant gratification. You know what I'm saying? You get they get money from the streets ASAP, you know, for the most part, you know, and that's the difference. So it's that instant thrill, that short-term thrill. You know, when you're dealing with a responsible brother like it, like I said, the journey ain't gonna be pretty. It may take 5, 10, 15 years for y'all to be able to really turn up. You know, when you dealing with the dope boy, when you dealing with a dude involved in that fast-paced lifestyle, like you getting that instant gratification. So that's the biggest difference.
But is it worth it though? Because you're getting all this instant gratification, but then the rest of your life you have to play catch up. Your kids don't have a father. You set behind. Like what are we doing? You know what I mean? Like that's what really grinds my gears. You know, and I love what Shedrick said. Like, you guys do have a plan. You know, like even when we first started talking, like you had a vision for, you know, your life and what you thought would be beneficial and what would work. And it did start off very rough. You know what I mean? It's gonna take years. It could take years for you guys to really get to where you're going. But a lot of females, they would be like, oh no, I'm not going to get with a responsible guy that has a plan for his life and everything like that, because that's going to take too long. That struggle love. I don't got time for this, that, and the third. But in the end, I'm telling y'all, it's a beautiful thing. And so it's my hope for us to get out of that mentality of wanting that instant gratification and instant dopamine fix, and get with somebody that is going to set you up nicely and properly, not only for you, but your whole entire family. You know what I mean? Set it up to where the foundation is sturdy. You guys can thrive and live comfortably and beautifully, not just have these instant dopamine hits and then now you just in shambles. Like who has time for that? But this is what we do. And then once again, anything outside of getting those instant dopamine hits, you know, and having a man to have it right then and there, being the total and complete finished product right then and there. Now you're promoting struggle love, you're broke dusty, and all this other nonsense, you know. And I really hate that they have that type of mentality to where they do feel like, you know, getting with a guy that has a vision, that is responsible, that's working towards that plan, that may not be at the finish line right then and there, they would classify that as you being broke and dusty and a woman settling and being in a struggle love type of situation. How do you feel about that, my love? As far as a lot of females feeling like getting with a guy that's in the beginning stages, that is responsible though, and working towards a plan. Because he's not able to grant her that instant, again, gratification and that instant dopamine hit of, oh yeah, we live in a lavish life. You know, he got this money, he's splurging on me and blah, blah, blah. How do you feel as far as, you know, females would classify even a man like you coming up, you know, as somebody that's dusty, struggle love bandit and all this other nonsense?
Well, I mean, I can't speak for that. When I was growing up, they weren't calling me that. But as far as all of that, like I feel like that's just stupid. You know, they can continue to deal with these dudes that's providing them this lavish lifestyle for the most part. I don't know the statistics on it, but they be the main ones getting their asses beat and things like that, getting cheated on and abused. I worked at the bank, so I didn't see what be happening, man. You know, I always got to tap back into my bank days because I seen these things, you know, so it is what it is.
My love, did you just say they be out here getting their ass beat?
I mean, that's right and exact. It's true. The media, a lot of times they put the truth in plain sight, so you see it all the time when you watching shows, when you watching movies. You know, these chicks will be getting with these dudes that's up to no good, be getting their asses beat, getting cheated on several times. The dude be using a car, having women in the car, like all type of stuff. I done seen and heard it all from working in the fields that I done worked in. You know, so you ain't living lavishly. You know what I'm saying? Like you living a lie for real. You know, the material things, all of that stuff gonna fade. So when that fades, when that stuff loses its value and importance, because as soon as you put it on, the value gone. You know, so when y'all got to sit down and actually face one another and y'all realize it's trash, then there you go. You know, so they could keep on fooling with it. I'm cool. As a dude, I wouldn't want to associate myself with a woman like that. You know what I'm saying?
Because
so
honestly,
in that direction,
they would call, again, a man that is responsible in the beginning stages, working towards his goals, his dreams, that has a plan, like y'all are talking about. They would say that y'all are broke and dusty, and that y'all are struggle love and trash bag dusties and all of this. But what you are saying is they are actually dealing with the real broke dusties. Because look at what is going on. Y'all are promoting struggle love. A nigga cheating on you, beating your ass, taking your money, taking your car, you know, having you in these situations to where you having to compete for the man that you sleeping with and the man that, you know, you giving your all to. Like, what's the real broke dusty struggle love?
like somebody, you go find me as many success stories as you can about that type of love. I'm talking about people that have been together 40, 50 years under those circumstances. But I can find plenty of success stories with the whatever y'all calling struggle love. I got some of that in my family. You know what I'm saying? So I could find plenty of examples of this struggle love that everybody talking about lasting very long. But can't nobody find many examples of what these women are after in regards to these the instant gratification, all of that lasting a long time. It doesn't last that long. Like you can't find examples of that. You can't find examples of it being healthy. Like you just cannot find many examples of that for me. If you can, I'll shut up. But I haven't seen many examples of those type of relationships being very healthy. So, like I said, and I'm here for the evidence. If somebody can provide me with some evidence, I will shut up. But until I see the evidence, I'm gonna keep on saying that. And they could keep gravitating toward that lifestyle. I'm cool. Like, hey, I'm not here to convince these silly women. If that's how y'all view it, if that's what y'all want to go deal with, go deal with it. But don't come running back to the dudes that y'all neglected and talk bad about. You know, at the end of the day, like don't do that.
And that's what I was getting ready to say. Like they will swear up and down, y'all lame, y'all dusty, y'all corny, y'all all this. But at the end of the day, when you guys are out here building and working towards your goals and you're turning your visions and dreams to reality, then they're like, hey, big head, and how you been, and how you doing, and all of this. Now you ain't dusty no more. You know, but that's a different story. Thank you, Mike Jones. It says, I am happy to see a powerful, positive, happy couple. If being responsible means being corny and lame, then that's what I am, and that will keep those low value women away. Lord have mercy, won't it? You know, and I really don't think that they understand that they are doing you guys a favor by showing their hands like this. Talking about how, you know, you knowing where your birth certificate is, that's so corny, and you cute, but you know, you too smart type shit. You know, you guys are able to weed those females out from wasting your damn time in the grand scheme and everything. But big shout out to you, Michael. I appreciate you.
And the crazy, the hypocritical or the irony in that, as far as being too smart, is that some of these same women are the same ones that have flashed degrees in your face.
Oh!
So the irony of them saying a dude is too smart and that makes him lame, like, what are you? You know what I'm saying? Like, they the main ones flashing their degrees in people's faces. And then a dude is all of a sudden too smart. Or the dude is too smart and that makes him, like, lame. But you the main one flashing these white folks' degrees in folks' faces. Like, what does that make you? And I got several degrees, but I don't flash them in people's face like that, you know? That's the irony of that statement. For a dude to be lame because he's smart, whole while they the main ones that's taking pride in these degrees. Like I said, it's the control factor and all of that type of good stuff, man.
Hold on. I was trying to make Mike Jones a moderator. But yeah, that's a valid point. Very good point. You know, we'll swear up and down, you know, y'all corny for being responsible and all of that. But when it comes to us being responsible and intelligent and having, you know, certain certifications or whatever under our belt, now all of a sudden we bad bitches.
No, and then
we boss bitches.
They say we fear that. They say black men fear an educated woman. We fear a responsible. We fear a woman that's on point. But then when we on point, when we smart, nobody fears us. We just lame. You know, like they not afraid of us. We just lame. But then when the shoe is on the other foot, we afraid of them. Like, I'm not afraid of no. You know what I'm saying? Like that don't even make any sense. We afraid of a woman that's educated, that's on her P's and Q's and things like that. But when it's us, like it's lame, it's boring, it's all that. Like why can't it be that y'all fear us too?
Ooh, that's a good point.
But it's always we boring and lame. But like I said, when it's them, we fear them. Like you know how many times I done been told things like that. Like y'all fear educated black women. Y'all fear that. Like no, we do not. Trust me, we don't. Like we not shaking in our boots when we see a woman that has degrees. Like because a degree, most of us black men know that don't really mean nothing when it comes to intelligence.
I'm telling you.
You know what I'm saying? So
money.
We not shaking in our boots. Like it's not making us afraid. So I don't know why y'all think that, but we don't live in fear of educated sisters. Just we don't.
Thank you, John Till. It says they want an excuse built in for stupid behavior. That's what it's starting to sound like. I ain't gonna lie. Thank you, Successful MD. Responsible men begin with the end in mind. We strive for long-term results. Facts. Thank you, Taylor. It says this is true. My path, following my own direction, and a lot of the times females aren't providing, let alone have proven any reason to lead. Interesting. Thank you, Clocks In. It says, peace to the universal family. Glad to see Eric back on the channel. How do people like me, the boring one, attract a responsible woman?
By keep being boring, bro. Keep being yourself, fam. Like for real. You gonna attract what you need when you just keep being yourself. That's all I ever did. You know, just keep being yourself. For one, be thankful that you are boring right now because you're not gonna attract the nonsense. These filthy, toxic women not gonna come your way because you're boring. So be thankful for that. You know, a whole while, like I said, I was like a wild card. People didn't know what box to put me in for a long time, so I attracted all type of nonsense. You know, so be thankful that you get the label as boring and lame or corny, whatever label you may have, because that's going to eliminate these filthy and toxic women from even looking in your direction, and you should be thankful for that because that's going to save you a lot of time. You know, so just keep being yourself, bro.
Thanks, Snuggles. It says drop the link. And it's good to see both of you on the same platform again. I enjoy the chemistry you have together. Very refreshing. Shout out to Snuggles. And Snuggles always come through smoke, dropping the link. Snuggles be on everybody's platform I love. Talking about drop the link. And it just cracks me up every time. Thank you, Theo. This is why Passport Bros exist. My bronze blonde Ukrainian babe loves lame, successful black men. Lord have mercy. Lord. Here come the Passport Bros. See, but it's because of a lot of the females having these types of stances and mentalities. It makes men want to go elsewhere and see what else is abroad or what else is out there because it's like, well, maybe since I'm lame and boring here, I can find something more substantial elsewhere. And then they get mad at that. Like, men can't win for losing. You know, you can't, you don't even want them when they're here because they're lame and they're responsible and they're boring and they're corny. But then when they pack up and they don't want anything to do with you, you know, now it's all of a sudden, oh, it's because y'all are incels and y'all can't handle a real woman and, you know, y'all just hate y'all mamas and all this other nonsense. Like, how do you feel about that, my love, as far as, you know, a lot of men going to seek other options of women in different places to where maybe it's more of an abundance of the women that they're actually looking for. Do you feel like that's a valid response for men or what?
Nah, I don't think y'all want my opinion on that one.
Yeah,
hold
on.
I ain't even finna.
What's up, my love?
When you do you like that?
You ain't. So you against the passportations?
Depending on. depending on the objection, I mean not the objection, but depending on the reasoning that the person has for traveling. Like if your sole reasoning is to go over there to find love, like I'm against that.
Oh,
100%.
really?
Yeah, I'm against that 100%.
Okay. Expound. Keep going.
I mean, I don't, because the way, just what I teach, like that goes against everything that I teach in regards to everything stemming from self. And plus, I mean, I got plenty of examples, plenty of information, man, plenty of people that I done chopped it up with in regards to the women in these other cultures. And a lot of times I feel like we become what we criticize. So I feel like sometimes when it comes to that, not saying this applies to everybody, I always add disclaimers and people don't catch when I add a disclaimer. Mm-hmm. So of course I'm not saying everybody that is considering themselves a passport brother, whatever the case may be, fits this description.
Okay.
So it's a disclaimer. But you do have some people that's the sole reason that they traveling overseas to go find these women and to manipulate them and things like that. Because again, they become what they criticize. A lot of dudes over here talking about, well, black women, they want to do that they can control X, Y, and Z. Gotta watch it. You know, you putting that energy out there, you focusing on that, a lot of people become that. So now you going overseas and your sole intention is to find the right one. And you manipulating her. You doing the same things that you criticizing this sister of doing. And I done seen that. I've seen that 100% because I've seen some of these countries that these dudes are proud to travel to, and I know the cultures there, and I know the type of women that are over there. And some of them women in those cultures are not even, I don't even want to use the word submissive, man, but they are enslaved out there to them dudes. You know what I'm saying? I'm a prime example of when I was dealing with the Arabs, you know, and I done heard people talk about that culture. And when I done worked in banking, and I done seen some of them Arab women, you know, they pulling up to the bank with their men, and just how fearful they look. You know, and some of these brothers that go travel overseas to the same exact country where I know these women just came from, and they're talking about how submissive these women are afraid, fam. Like you want to control that sister. Now it's a thin line between I don't want a sister, you know, talking back and all that, but then controlling them at the same time. Like I don't want that either. I don't want to just control you. You know, I want you to have a mind of your own. And I know a lot of brothers, they traveling overseas just so they can manipulate a woman they control them. And people don't want to talk about that, not know that that's happening. Now, again, I ain't saying all of them are doing that, but best believe some of these dudes have that agenda, you know?
Yeah, it's going to always be that. You know, I'm going to be honest enough to acknowledge that there are people out there that are doing those things. However, from what I see, especially on my platform, with the brothers on my platform, a lot of them are able to go to these different countries and get, you know, maybe the level of respect and submission that they're able to get from these women. And then the women actually appreciate the fact that they're not like the men in their own countries, to where they are trying to manipulate and control. So it's like a good balance to where it's like, damn, in my country, when it comes to the women are disrespectful and neglectful, and they don't believe in roles and cooperation and, you know, all of that. So when I come over here, me being a responsible, good-hearted, good-natured brother, you know, loving brother, whatever, providing protector, you know, with me collaborating with this woman that is, you know, maybe brought up to be more submissive or more loving and nurturing. When we get together, we can have something that is a lot more substantial, a lot more loving, and something that can last longer, because we're both coming to the table being complimentary of one another, versus the women being over there in their countries to where they're just being submissive because they're fearful. The brothers coming over there to their countries, you know, it's like, well, I want to be submissive to you because you respect me, you like me, you love me, you care about me, you want to invest in me as a woman, you see me as a human being and not just property. So that's what I also see. But I do understand your point. But I wouldn't say that I have a problem with a guy going overseas for love, though.
See, this what I'm saying. I got a lot of problems with that, because y'all know. Okay, so y'all gonna wake me up now, because now, you know what I'm saying? Because
we ain't got to start. Look, this is what I love about my husband, because my husband, he gonna give you all the different levels and layers. He don't care if you offended. He gonna speak his mind and his truth. Go ahead.
What I'm saying is, man, y'all know y'all see the shirt that I got on, X-Clan. You know, I'm for the Black Power struggle. This is what I teach. This is what I preach. You know what I'm saying? So when we start talking about traveling overseas and we start mentioning these other cultures, y'all already know your boy gonna have a problem with that. But this is the thing here. We got to look at it just on a microscopic level. When it comes to people that might do you the worst in your own personal life, who is that going to come from?
The people that you closest
The
to.
people that you closest to. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we how long have we struggled with our sisters here in America? Like we keep on forgetting the fact that we didn't have to stand side by side with these sisters, and we didn't have to fight side by side with these sisters for how long? How long have we been saying for over 400 plus years that we didn't have to struggle with one another? How long have we been saying that? Somebody give me some answers. How long have we been saying for over 400 plus years we didn't have to struggle and fight side by side with one another? You can scroll the comments. I want to see somebody just how long we done been saying that. You know what I'm saying? We done been fighting alongside one another 400 plus years, 500 plus years for a very long time. I'm not in the business of disconnecting from that and traveling overseas to deal with these folks that I know don't care about me at the end of the day. I'm telling you, you could go deal with these chicks. Like I said, it's like a dude going into a school for the first time. You know, when you knew, when I transferred over to my school my sophomore year, I was fresh. And they liked the kid because I was fresh, I was new. But once they got used to me, it's like the attraction faded. You know, so when you go traveling overseas, that's it. You fresh. They used to a certain type of brother over there. So when they come across you, you a fresh face. Y'all get together. It's all peaches and cream. Get at about 10, 15 years, and we gonna see all of these cultural differences, all these things start coming to the surface, and it's gonna cause a lot of problems. Because when you start tapping into the history of a lot of these other ethnic groups and a lot of these other cultures, they don't too much care for us, man, and that stuff gonna start coming out to play. Man, I done watch. She see me watch a lot of the ID channel. I watch all these people, these couples murdering one another. Man, a lot of these cats from overseas, they have participated in that. I talked about that on one of my joints. Steve McNair, man, if you a football fan, who assassinated him? He cheated on his black wife with a foreign chick, and she shot that man in the head while he was napping. While he was asleep on the couch, she shot that man in the head because she thought that man was creeping. He was already creeping on you, fool, with his wife. She thought he was creeping with somebody else. Shot that man in the head while he was sitting there, laying there, sleep. So we can't be ignoring all of these type of realities too, man. These folks at the end of the day, once the fact that you knew, like a fresh face, once that wears off, man, you're gonna have a multitude of different problems. And a lot of times people don't talk about that, man. And I've been studying that for a very long time. You know? So again, man, I'm not gonna ever give up on the sisters here. Just because you may have had a bunch of tough situations with your sisters here, man, I don't feel like that's enough to disown them. Because I done seen plenty of people go overseas and have troubling situations. But I don't see people highlighting that. It's almost like when people have problems with black business and they can't wait to get on social media to blast the black business. But when you have trouble with the Arab business, with the Asian business, you ain't getting on social media blasting them. You know, so when you had these rough experiences overseas, get online and blast them too. You know, so I deal in equality, fam. Y'all ain't just going overseas and 100% success rate. I know that ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? So get on that joint and make sure you dealing in equality, fam. Dealing in equality. So y'all know, as I'm race first, so I'm not gonna never just pick another culture over my sisters. I ain't gonna do that, fam.
But my they going overseas to get black women.
Listen, I saw Ukraine.
Yes,
you know what I'm
saying?
Theo. And I know a bunch of other people that then went overseas and dealt with that particular type of individual. So I'm speaking to them. So if that don't fit, so
you're not talking about passport bros going to get the black women.
See, this is what I'm saying. This is why I add disclaimers. I'm never talking about everybody. I'm always talking about a specific group. So if you don't fit the description, it don't apply to you. Okay. You know, so if you traveling overseas and you dealing with these other ethnic groups and even some of the ones that so-called black, you gotta watch that. Hence why we didn't have problems with Africans. Now, I don't subscribe to that, but you know, it's a certain image that they have instilled in some of these people overseas in regards to how we are here in America, black folks in America. You know, I went to college with an African brother, and he was like, before he got on a plane, they set him down and showed them how black folks in America are. You know, so he was surprised at how I was, because he was like, man, what they showed me, like, you don't fit that. You know, they had them thinking, they set him down, showed him a video of how black folks in America are. You know what I'm saying? And he met me, and he was like, man, I'm surprised you don't act nothing like how they showed us that y'all act here. So they had a certain image implanted in them before they got over here. You know, so we it's a lot of things. It's a lot to this, man. Before I get to venting, I'm gonna end that. But it's a lot to that.
Okay. Well, they said they respectfully disagree, but My husband, he's just going into the different levels and layers. He's saying don't over romanticize and over generalize what's really at play, which I can respect, And again, I'm open to different perspectives,
But again, like I said, because people misunderstand what I'm saying about why I disagree with going somewhere to find love. I don't think you should do any. Like, listen, my thing is always focusing on yourself. I had this conversation. I don't know if Bobby is on here, but that's the conversation that I had with him because he travels and he was like the reason why he's traveling, for new experiences and things like that to elevate his mind. And if he just so happens to find love, they're cool. Like, that's what I'm on. Mistake number one is we going places trying to find love. Even if you are in America, I don't suggest you go somewhere trying to find love. That's incorrect. So people think that I'm saying don't go overseas to find love. I tell brothers in America, don't go to this place trying to find love. Don't go here trying to find love. Don't go anywhere trying to find love. First, love yourself. And once you start loving yourself, once you get acquainted with yourself, all this stuff, all this love, it's going to come to you. So I never advise anybody to go anywhere outside of themselves for love. Once you love yourself, all the love that you need from the outside is going to come to you. And that's just an actual fact. So that's why I'm saying I don't necessarily agree with somebody traveling for the sole purpose. Notice, I'm saying for the sole purpose. Meaning the only reason I'm over here, keyword is sole purpose. The only reason I'm over here is to find a woman. I will disagree with that anywhere. If I'm going anywhere with the sole purpose to find a woman, no, that's not right. Because most of these individuals that's doing that haven't done the internal work. You know what I'm saying? On themselves. So first, make sure you straight. And that's why I always stand, and that's always my stance, man. Get yourself straight. If you traveling just to travel, cool, so be it. You know what I'm saying? If you got your mind state right, then the love gonna come to you. If it just so happen to come to you overseas, I have no problem with that. But if your sole purpose, like I'm traveling over here because I'm trying to find these women, nope, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that here.
Okay, well, I can respect it, So your whole thing is everywhere you go, there you are. So work on yourself, and then it'll flow and come to you.
I'm just saying
but,
that, and I'm just saying, man, people, the grass is greener mentality. I hate that mentality. You know what I'm saying? I just don't like it. Okay. And it's dudes don't like it when I get on now, man. But it's like, man, for real, y'all gonna get me started. I don't want to be talking about folk, but I know people, and I know people that agree with this. I know people that agree with that stance, and I know them personally, and I know that they not the best type of dudes. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times that just doesn't get discussed. So a dude to be like, man, these women over here don't do X, Y, and Z, and I'm flying overseas. Whole while I know your type. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have known you for a very long time. You don't treat people the best. You don't treat yourself the best. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of times, like when you move to a different city or state, thinking that's just gonna change your life and whatnot. No, you gotta change your life internally first. Don't matter where you move, fam. So I just know a lot of people, man. I know a lot of brothers that subscribe to that type of mentality, that agree with it, and I know that they haven't done the internal work themselves, and they haven't treated folks. If you haven't treated your sisters the best here, don't cry about it. If you've done everything in your power to treat the women in America, the black women in America, the best, and they still not treating you right, I have no problems with what you're doing. Have no problem. If you got to go overseas, man, I exhausted all my options. I've been treating these women right and exact for 20 years, for 15 years. It ain't working. I'm about to explore other options. Cool. Do you. But, man, if I know for a fact you done been dealing with sisters in a grimy manner, and then you saying I'm finna travel overseas because these women ain't shit. No, you ain't shit. And you need to address that, fam. So I'm getting tired of everybody acting like everybody's squeaky clean, because that's some bullshit. You know what I mean? Because I classify myself as a decent and responsible dude, and I know I wasn't shit for a long period of time because I grew up in the same culture that a lot of us brothers that grew up in. So that's the part of it that I get mad with this passport shit. Everybody acting innocent. Everybody acting like they squeaky clean. Everybody acting like they ain't got no dirt. Like I said, I consider myself a decent brother. I ain't got no record to my name, but I ain't all the way been a decent dude in regards to my treatment of women. So I can't, that's why I can't have that type of mentality. And I know a lot of these dudes personally that subscribe to that vision, and they ain't shit, and they wasn't shit for a long time in regards to their treatment of people. So get yourself on point, man. Get yourself on point, man, for real. Like I said, people don't like that when I start spazzing on that, but it's accountability. We accountability got to go both ways.
Okay.
So I looked in the mirror for myself. I was like, man, I know I ain't perfect. I know I done been treating people like shit. A lot of times, man, you attract what you done did, man. That's karma, fam. That's karma. So if you've been attracting a certain type of woman in your life, man, you got to evaluate yourself. You know, and a lot of times, man, brothers is not doing that, fam.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely levels and layers to the conversation, and I feel like everything that you said is valid. However, you know, it's also, you know, another layer to where it's guys out there that just want to improve the odds, whatever it may be, you know, finding what they're looking for. So it can very well be a case to where it's like, you know what, I know it's some good women here, but I know that my chances of finding better as far as women being more receptive to responsible men or loving men or whatever the case is, and knowing their roles, my chance could be better or greater elsewhere. Not that I'm saying fuck y'all and I'm giving up, but I just want to go somewhere to where it's more in abundance. But again, it's just levels and layers of conversation.
That's what I'm saying. Like I said, for the most part, dudes be on some arguing type shit. So it ain't never really that. I ain't never got that, because every time I say something, mugs is arguing from a different angle. So that you make that sound hella positive, but dudes don't be on that.
Oh well, that's what I see on my platform.
Well, it don't be on that. When, like I said, that's from you. But when another dude say he disagree with it, dude's finna come with some other energy. You know what I'm saying? And dudes be wanting to debate on type shit. You know, so I can go there. You know what I'm saying? Dudes don't really want to go there with me. I can go there any day, every day. If people know my past, know my history, I do that. You know, so again, like I said, I could go there.
Tokyo says we have passport bros and we have passport pookies. These are two completely different types of men. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's levels or layers. But that's what my husband said.
I say that.
That's what he said. My husband said that. Like he said, he's not talking about everybody, but from what he's been observing, you know, it's a chunk of them to where it's on some nanny boo boo, the grass is greener, fuck y'all type of energy.
It's just it's a lot to the conversation. Like
it's a lot to the conversation.
Y'all done woke me up, because it's so much that you can talk about in regards to that particular conversation. Man, I was a little tired, but y'all done woke me up. y'all done woke me up.
Please don't wake them up, Lord.
Well, it didn't happen now. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, Prodigal. It says, brethren, never make a woman your number one focus. First, focus on the Most High, then your health, third, your money. Once you're established, then you can consider a woman.
And essentially that's what I'm saying.
That's what
you know, when your sole objective is to find women, like that's off. Like that's just not right. Mm-hmm. That's just not right.
I'm a woman and I agree with that.
Like everything is gonna come to you, fam. Like seriously, focus on yourself. Like this is what dudes is on. And it comes, and again, and this ain't no taking up for sip, but some of it just comes off as desperation, fam. Like when you going places trying to find women, you look desperate. Like back in the day when I would go out, man, I wasn't a desperate dude, so I'd be off in the cut chilling. And that attracted people more than the cats that was just acting desperate. The whole reason why it looked like he went was to get women. When I jump off in the cut and I'm chilling, and I ain't studying anybody, that generated more attention than anything. You know, so sometimes, man, when you going somewhere and your sole attention is to find women, man, that's looking desperate, fam. Don't be desperate.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
Like, don't be desperate. Now,
but it can also be more like, because people get to a point in their life to where they're established and they have this stuff together, and now you want to, you know, share your life with somebody.
You phrase it, it's still there. You trying to speed it up.
No. What if your whole life you've been working hard and blah blah and building, and now you're at a position in your life to where it's like, look, I'm wanting a family, I'm wanting a wife and everything, and all the women that you encounter are just not hitting on it, and you want to go somewhere else to again find it to where it's more in abundance.
It's all about want. Like I said, when you focus on wants are different from what you need. Huh? You know what I'm saying? Wants are different from what you need. When you live life effortlessly, you know what I'm saying? When you focus on yourself, again, what you need, it comes to you. The problem is people's visions are distorted. So when the person that they need comes to them, they're not able to recognize it, because we so focused on what it is that we want. So that's what I'm saying. It's a lot of stuff that people are missing. You know, that's a lot of stuff that people are missing, man. When you focusing on yourself, the person that you need, I'm telling you, will come to you. Was I out here looking for you?
Nah.
100%. Like, well, I wasn't out here I wasn't looking for anything. I was focused. You saw what type of state I was in when you came into the mix. Now, again, I'm not saying my story should be everybody's story. What I'm saying, I'm dealing with attraction here. You know, we dealing with attraction. We dealing with things coming to you. At that time, I couldn't. You didn't ask me many of times like, why do you like me? Why do you love me? This, that, and the third. It boils down to you are what I need, and you are what I needed at that point. Now, if I would have allowed my vision to get the best of me at that time, like, man, I ain't got no time for no woman. Like, I got to focus on this, that, and the third. I would have overlooked that, and I would have probably been ending up in the same perpetual cycle as a lot of these brothers. But I had started focusing on myself at that time, so I was able to say, you know what? Let me tap in, because this might be what I need at this moment. Because I was focused on myself. So when you came into the mix, like the way stuff started aligning, I was like, hold up, fam, I'm not looking for this at this moment. But let me focus on this real quick. Let me tap in. This might be exactly what I need. It wasn't necessarily what I wanted at the time, because it was a lot of stuff that you saw me. I was about to finish up school. I was doing a lot at that time. You remember, but it was what I needed. It was what I needed to balance me out at that time. But if I focused more on what I wanted,
why you keep saying at that time? No, I'm peeping the game.
No, I'm saying
at that time. What you talking?
Because
I'm just being funny.
If we would have never, right? Because again, if I would have been focused on what I wanted, the type of life I wanted to live at that time, you looking at early 20s. I'm a young black man. You know what I'm saying? That's just a young black man out here in the early 20s. I could have been like, man, I'm not trying to be tied down in my early 20s. I'm finna graduate college, man. I want to be out here. That could have been that was the life that I wanted. Like, man, I don't want to be tied down. Like, I'm trying to focus on myself. I'm trying to do this, that, and the third. Now, if that would have overpowered what I needed, we wouldn't have connected. We wouldn't have connected. But again, that came to me at a time where I started focusing on myself. So I wasn't on Facebook. I wasn't going to places like, man, I gotta find love. I gotta find this, that, and the third. Like, it came to me at the least matter of fact, it came to me at probably the worst time possible. Because it wasn't like I was established. It wasn't like I had my stuff going. Like, I was in school, fam. So that was like the worst time possible. Like, I wouldn't even advise dudes to do something like that. But it was like it came to me when I was focused on myself. So I had to evaluate it, because I'm like, man, hold on, I ain't looking for this, but here it is. So why is it here? So when I tapped in, it was like, man, this is what you need. So again, like, the things that you need always come to you when you get your mind on right. It comes to you. You just got to make sure you have discernment, fam, and you able to recognize it when it comes to you.
But but who's to say that it coming to me is me saying, you know what? I think I'm financially stable enough, and I explored everything, and I want to go and go somewhere abroad and blah blah blah.
Right. What I'm saying is,
but you saying don't make that your priority,
right.
As far as the women. Okay, I get it. We get it, my love. We get it.
Exactly what I'm saying is, I'm not talking to that person.
Okay, I got you.
I'm not talking to that person. If a person, like I said, my disclaimer, if a person feel like he got his head on right, then exhausted all his options, and he traveling, and then love happens to find him there, cool. I'm talking to the brothers that, like, when I said I know people,
this is like, fuck these bitches, I'm going overseas.
And then they not the best.
Okay, we get it.
So again, if the shoe fits on that end, I'm talking to you. Okay. But if it doesn't fit, I'm not talking to you. So if you chilling, you got businesses established, you succeeding in life, you doing the internal work that you need to do, and you want to just travel to explore other options, I'm not talking about you nor to you.
He said he made the disclaimer. Okay, we got it. Hold on, we go to the bottom. Okay, he made the disclaimer, y'all. They gonna be, man, fuck your husband.
I mean, I don't care if they say that, because I don't care about no smoke. But I just add the disclaimer just to prove comprehension skills don't be there. I add disclaimers several times. It's called repetition. It's a marketing strategy. I do that on purpose, because people still, not even dudes, everybody still take from it what they want to. But I add disclaimers so people can't say I said this, like, nah, I didn't say it like that. Go back and tap into the disclaimer.
Okay, let me start from the bottom, y'all, and work my way up, because I'm going to get lost if I try to do it at the top. Thank you to Renzel. It says, going out to find equals the hunter becoming the hunted. And not all hunts end well, if at all.
And that's 100% right and exact. When you going out to find now, because people see that. Man, I'm telling y'all, I just read about that, fam. I ain't even finna tap in, but I just read about that.
Thank you, J Rock. It says, shout out to you, Danica. Shout out to you, E. Love the t-shirt. X-Clan for life. Heed the word of the brother.
Yeah, shout out to Brother J, Vanglorious, all that. Somebody finally recognized the shirt. Right on, J Rock. Thank you.
Thank you, Omega Green. It says, anecdotally, y'all know I can't damn read. I can also attest in the inverse. Many FBA women shunned and were and are disrespectful to men who don't fit the multivariate hood archetype. Interested. Yeah, like because y'all are corny, y'all lame. And you know what else I've seen, Omega Green? I've seen females say, oh, you know, because a man or a black man in particular, because a black man is responsible and maybe he presents a certain way, that, you know, maybe you should date a white girl. You know, maybe you should date a female outside of the black race because, you know, you just seem like the type that would be with them. You know, I've seen that as well. Thank you, Des. It says, I really appreciate you too, and I really agree with my man, Eric. You have to do the work on yourself first before receiving your blessings. Bro, thanks. Peace to you, Des. Thank you, D-Pain. Looking back at my past relationships, I was a horrible boyfriend, laughing out loud. You spoke to my spirit with that rant, King.
I'm trying to tell y'all, y'all gotta forget, I'm a brother. And I hung around everybody. I wasn't a square dude. You know what I'm saying? I done hung around all the crowds. I know what we were out here doing, fam. Like, I know it. I got a big brother, and I was around his people. You know what I'm saying? So I know what we were out here doing. You know, she has seen me in personal situations play the other side because I know, like, the actual truth. She didn't seen it firsthand, you know, within my own family. You know, the word is like they siding with one person, and I'm like, nah, like I know the other side too. And y'all ain't focusing on that. You know, I didn't seen that, man. So I know what we was on. I'm not saying we all was on that. I'm not saying everybody was like me and everybody was like the brother. But man, I know for the most part, man, we was all raised by this urban culture, and it didn't have a lot of respect for our sisters growing up. So a lot of us reflected that. You know, so for those brothers that we able to look into the mirror and say, you know what, man, I was trash. Let me work on myself. Now, that's when I became boring and things like that. I wasn't boring, lame, a nerd, all of that. Like in middle school, high school, I became boring. That's the only label that I done probably received once I got out of high school and I started to learn more about myself and things like that. And I stopped going out, doing all that other nonsense. And I started to change the way that I eat, which is something else I would like to tap into. But that's when I got labeled boring. When I got older and I said, you know what, I'm about to disconnect from that, the way I was raised in regards to, you know, the media and things like that. When I disconnected from that image that they wanted us to portray, that's when people started labeling me boring. Man, you don't want to go out, you want to read, you want to study, like you boring. You know, so that's when I got the label.
Thank you, LA. It says you attract what you are regardless of where you go and travel.
Yep.
Am I caught up, y'all? Omega says the average life expectancy for black men is 77 years. If you're a corny guy by FBA standards for being successful, responsible, disciplined, and intelligent, how long should you stay here and search for a needle in a haystack?
I ain't search. There we go. I'm telling y'all,
Y'all gonna get my husband started.
We search for absolutely nothing. You know what I'm saying? The culture that I come from, we don't do the search. The man don't do the searching, fam. We don't do that. It's magnetism. What you need, if your magnetic is powerful enough, what you need will come to you, fam. So we don't search. If you searching for something, you already lost.
Damn.
Fam, we don't do that, fam. So if you searching for something, you got to go within because you already lost. I'm not out here searching, seeking, trying to find anything because everything that I need is right within me. You know, so everything is going to come to me based off of that. So when y'all start using words like search and find, man, y'all got to tap back into self. Seriously, fam. Y'all got to tap back into self.
Swag says, I got a sister from Colombia. Many are getting black women overseas. They saying in the comments that American black women are dead. I don't know. Just as much, if not more. I don't know. Thank you, Terenzo. In the middle of a psychological war of ages, we all must realize we can't fight amongst ourselves and an enemy at the same time, regardless of color of skin or location, and expect a victory at all. Salute, E and D. Shout out to you, Terenzo. Thank you, Diamond. It says big up to Columinati 7. However, all these dudes going to hear is I am against you being a trick, which is causing the negative reaction.
That's why I be tapped. Listen, y'all see the Columinati. I'm the CEO of Being Misunderstood University. And so people just be wanting to pick and choose what it is that they want to listen to, man, or see and hear.
John Till says, we want women that can pair bond. I hear you, Eric, but it's funny how that let's build together talk only comes after their post wall. Lord have mercy. But that's a thing, though, as well. And again, my husband is just going to the different levels and layers, But I also find it funny, John Till, that you guys are lame, corny, boring, all these other things up until a woman is later on in life and she has all these things working against her and all of these, responsibilities. Now you guys, you're the ideal man, and now she doesn't mind playing a role and all of that. So that is funny. Thank you, Percy. He says, hey, husband and wife, glad to see y'all collab today. Peace to you, Percy. Am I caught up? Montel says, I'm glad he addressed this. There's cursed agendas on both sides of the coin that are capable of coming up. No community is above that. Shout out to you, Montel. Who else? Tiger, thank you. And I think that's everybody. Okay, and again, big shout out to Mike Jones. We appreciate it. All right. John Till says, degrees count for education, but that paper gets its ass kicked by intellect and common sense. Lord have mercy. Hold on. Tech Rail says, end of the day, these 304s was always corny. They only get it when it's too late. We only scared of catching DV charges for being around them too long. Y'all heard clowning. Thank you, Solo. It says, they talk about passport bros, but meanwhile, they've been taking girl trips forever. Yeah, these females not exempt either, Like, we're holding everybody to a standard. We have everybody accountable. All right, but it is a lot of hypocrisy behind that as well. Okay, I think I'm caught up because we read Theo already. Swag, I went on the hunt, but it wasn't my sole purpose. I'm literally in the 2 worst rated cities for dating in the U.S. while in the military. I'm on my purpose, but it's not going to happen here. Look. But you even said it, though. You said it wasn't your main purpose. Thank you, Prodigal. These same females saying you're boring are the same ones who come from dysfunctional households. They were born and raised in darkness. Therefore, the darkness hated the light in you. I sent you an email, by the way, Danica. Okay, I'll check it out. And shout out to you, Prodigal Son. Okay, y'all, am I caught up? Because there's some more I want to get into. G Money says, why do these conversations always end up about the 10% of our population? Who else? I think that's everybody. Is that everybody on my Okay, yeah, because I'm back at Terenzo. Okay. All right. Y'all like the video, share the video, and subscribe. All right. We can't hit 700. And again, we appreciate y'all for pulling up. This is what's dope about our dope discussions. We're going to give different levels and layers, different perspectives. We may piss some of y'all off, whatever. But at the end of the day, you're going to build, you're going to learn, you're going to evolve, you're going to grow. But let's get back into the topic at hand, which is responsible men, being corny to a lot of females of today. And What I've been attacked for a lot of the times, my love, is me vouching for the guys that are working towards and striving towards building and developing and evolving and growing and setting up sturdy, healthy foundations. But because, and we talked about this a little bit earlier, because you guys are not at the desired result yet, they would say a woman like me is promoting struggle love, and I'm setting women up to not be able to live their lives because, after all, y'all responsible men, y'all too busy tending to the foundation. Y'all not trying to go out and party and have a good time. Y'all not trying to splurge on a woman. Y'all not trying to do all these extra, shenanigans to, make a woman feel like she's living her best life in X, Y, and Z. So I would get attacked for essentially telling women to get with responsible men and build with them, because that is not giving women the desired results right then and there. And I feel like it does us all a disservice by having that type of mentality, because all it does is set us up for failure in the end when we do need responsible men, when we do need those sturdy, healthy foundations. Because with us wasting all of our damn time on these guys who are not doing anything, we collapse in the end. So why not get with those guys and build with them? But they don't want to build with a man. They want a man that, again, is right there where they want them to be, giving them the quote-unquote best life. And if you're not able to do that, you're corny, you're lame, you're boring, I don't want you, the whole 9 yards. And that does us all a disservice, in my opinion. And even you alluded to the fact that by you trying to be the type of guy that is productive and progressing forward and focusing on yourself and building a foundation, a lot of females were turned off by that. They didn't like the fact that you would rather read a book than to go to the bar, or you would rather, watch a documentary and study than to go to the club. So how do we fix that as far as the mentality of females feeling like, a man that is productive and studious is boring? Like, how do we reverse that? How do we change that?
Like I said, everything taps back in to self, and it something that's under the radar. Like, we don't like to be told no. So when you are a man of principle, you gonna tell a woman no. And a lot of women don't like that. And a lot of times that's what it boils down to. You telling a sister no. Like when I'm changing the way that I'm eating, and you like, well, I want some. It's certain things I'm not finna eat. Well, let's go to McDonald's. I'm like, nah, you shouldn't be putting that in your body. You shouldn't be putting that into your system. So a man of principles, a man that's studious, a man that's responsible is gonna tell you no. I'm not going to McDonald's. You shouldn't go neither, because you shouldn't be putting that in your system. Sisters don't like that. A lot of sisters don't like that. Again, that's the accountability that people are talking about. When you a man of principles, when you're a responsible man, you telling people no. Like, man, let's go on this trip in 2 months. Well, let's look at the finances. It ain't there. Nah, but we could go on this trip next year. This is too late of a notice. So again, I'm telling you no. You know what I'm saying? But it don't mean I'm writing it completely off. I'm saying we not prepared at this moment. But in a year from now, we can go on this trip. But you wanted to go 2 months, so I done had to tell you no. So a lot of sisters cannot handle a man of principle that's gonna have to tell them no. And that's a big problem. Like, a lot of these women, they want you to be like, yep, whatever it is they want, yep. If I want this coat now, yep. I want to go overseas, yep. Like, nah, brother of principles, a responsible man is finna be like, nah. And a lot of women cannot handle no. Like, seriously. Like,
so maybe that's why they would say that a woman like me is promoting struggle love, because I'm essentially trying to set them up to go with the responsible man that will very well tell them no, or quote unquote deprive them of certain luxuries that they feel like they deserve.
Because that's why I said I wanted to tap into like eating healthy, because that's being responsible. Being responsible is taking care of your health. So a lot of times in the beginning, when I was making transitions, it was like you would get called boring because of the foods that you eating, meaning that it's a lot of places that you can't go eat because they don't have options available for you. So I would get called boring off the strength of that. And basically what I'm doing is I'm taking care of my health as a young 20-year-old black man, which is something you should be proud of. You should be like, ooh, this young brother is taking care of his health, meaning he's trying to be around for a long time. But of course, they not thinking long term. So instead of them thinking long term, they thinking short term. They want to go to Ruth Chris and spend all this unnecessary money on food that ain't even good. Not only is it not good, it's not good for you. So when I say, nah, we not gonna do that, we could chill and we could have these smoothies or whatever the case may be, that's boring.
Yeah.
You know, so nah, if you
and cheap.
Yeah, that too. That too. You know, y'all want to overspend on trash food for status. Like that makes absolutely zero sense. I'm gonna overspend on trash food for status. But then tell me eating healthy is expensive. So I'm broke, but yeah, I eat healthy, which you say equates to being expensive. So that makes no sense. So a brother that's taking care of his health, meaning he's eating healthy, you call him broke because he don't want to go to Ruth Chris, but then when that same brother say you need to eat more fruits and vegetables, well, it's too expensive. But you just called me broke for focusing on my health, meaning I'm eating healthy, meaning I'm buying these expensive health foods. So that doesn't make any type of sense. How a brother that's focused on his health is broke, but eating healthy is expensive. How does that make any sense?
But how do we reverse that mentality for the females? Like, so where they don't view it like, oh, because he's responsible, that means that, you know, he's broke and he's boring and he's lame and he's going to deprive me and I'm not going, like, how do we reverse that? How do we change that?
It ain't no we. It's how do they reverse that within themselves. I can't tell these sisters how to think. The only thing that we can continue to do is promote the healthy love and healthy relationships and healthy individuals that's out here succeeding. So only thing we can do is promote the brothers that's out here being responsible and doing what they doing. We got to promote more of them because apparently people don't think that we out here doing what we doing. You know, so we got to promote ourselves a lot more, you know, as from a media perspective, because we already see the bad side of the black man. So we got to do a better job of promoting the good side of the black man. That's all that we can do. At the end of the day, that is on them. They gonna have to shift that mindset. They gonna have to shift it, man. I can't make a group of women think a certain type of way. I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? I can't do it. You know, so that's gonna be on them. They gonna have to do the internal work. All we can do is continue to show them, hey, it's good brothers out here, we responsible, and this life ain't so bad to the best of our abilities. If they don't want to accept that, then that's on them.
No, because it ain't lavish enough.
Right, so that's on them. You know, if they don't want to accept that, that is on them. I'm not here to convert you over to my religion. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't do that. All I can do is show you, look, this is what a successful or responsible man is all about. You know, we planning for the long term. This is what the long-term game looks like. You know, and if they don't accept that because it ain't lavish, it ain't instant gratification, then they just gonna have to dig their own grave at that point, man. See, the problem is we trying to save these type of chicks.
Oh, you say don't save these hoes.
Project Pat said, you know what I'm saying, don't save her, she don't want to be saved. So y'all got to accept that. Project Pat lets you know that they don't want to be saved. So why are you trying to save a sister that don't want to be saved? I told brothers a long time ago, if a sister lets me know that the type of life that I'm living is boring and it's corny and lame, then keep it moving. I'm not trying to convince her like, nah, it's all good on this side. If I got to put all that work in to convince you that my type of life is right and exact, I don't want you. Like, why would I want that type of sister? Like, that don't even make any sense.
But my love, I'm trying to change the culture.
At the end of the day, we can't do nothing but plant the seed. You know what I'm saying? At the
That's
end of
what
the
I'm
day,
doing.
it's on
But
them.
you gotta call it out.
The seed has already been planted. Listen, we done been calling out all this type of behavior.
My husband say, "Fuck y'all, hoe. We done."
We didn't have plenty of people call out all this type of behavior. At the end of the day, the people that's gonna change, they gonna change. The people that's not, they not. You know, so
Lord
again, like it is what it is. You know, if you coming across, and I'm talking about the brothers that y'all like, y'all feel like this gonna be the end of y'all equation. You know, if you come across a sister like that, keep it pushing. Like, you shouldn't want to have to convert somebody over to, hey, it ain't all boring over here. We can live this type of life too. Give me 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to have to convince a sister of that.
Everybody finna wait 10 years for you, broke ass nigga.
So right, when she say that, then let her go find what she looking for, and let her realize some people, man, we done dealt with this in our own family. Some people just gotta learn the hard way, fam. You just gotta let some people learn the hard way. I had to learn some things in life the hard way. It was plenty of people that put me on game for some things when I was younger. I didn't listen until I went through it myself. Then I was like, damn, I should have. If I would have listened to dude 5-10 years ago, I'd have been on point. But I did not listen. So you gonna come across that, man. When you hear these chicks and they saying this, let them dig their own grave. You keep it pushing. Don't try to save a chick like that, because it's 9 times out of 10 it's not gonna work. And then if it appears like you saved her, there's some ulterior motives behind that. And you gotta watch her. She might be playing you. You know, she gonna end up taking everything from you. So you gotta watch all of that. You don't want to get with a chick like that. She already letting you know what's up from the jump. So why would you want to save somebody like that? Keep it pushing. These people, we gonna have to do the work. They gotta do the work.
My husband say, "Fuck these hoes, let them die." I just
what ghetto boys gonna say, let a hoe be a hoe.
Lord,
like that's what they said. That's Lord. The song. And again, it's the hip hop culture that we was all raised on. You know what I'm saying? So I know dudes know what I'm talking about. They done heard all these songs, fam. They done heard all these songs. They know exactly what I'm talking about. You gotta let some folks be that, man. I'm not trying to change folks. I don't even feel comfortable with that. I don't even feel comfortable saying, all right, I'm finna try to get this chick that says she don't like my type. I'm finna change her.
So ain't no such thing as turning a hoe into a housewife.
I'm not saying ain't no such thing, but why would I want to stress myself out like that? Like, why would I want to sign up to be stressed out? Because I know what's gonna come with that. I don't want to put in, like, I'm working smarter, not harder. So I don't want to get with a chick that I feel like, man, I'm finna have to try to change everything about her life. Like, no, I don't. I'm good. I'm good on that, fam. I'm good. Like, I want to live a stress-free life, or a limited amount of stress as possible. So I'm not about to get with a chick that I know that's gonna stress me out 100%, and I'm trying to change her. Like, I'm good, fam. I'm good. You know, I maneuver through life perfectly fine, being good on them type of vibes, fam. Like, it's just everything ain't for the kid. Everything ain't for you, fam. You know what I'm saying? So if you attracted to her for like external purposes, man, and she just internally ain't right and exact, man, just keep pushing. Don't try to save her.
Don't try to say these hoes, you know. But they always come back when it's way too damn late.
Right. So at that point, like I said, like you said, it's too late. You had, like, listen, you know what I'm saying? You had the opportunity right there. You ain't want to fool with the kid. Now it's 20 years later. Now you try to fool with the kid. No. You know, so quit entertaining that.
You don't believe people can change?
They can, but I'm not about to be the one stressing myself out trying to make it happen. If you want to sign up for that, cool. If that's the life you want to live.
I'm going to read y'all super chats in a second, but I got to ask this. Summer love. If a female is out here tomorrow, you know what, Eric, you cute and whatever, but, you know, you just too boring for me. You too this for me, that and the third, whatever. And then as life progresses and life happens and she gets older and more mature and all of that, and she comes back, and let's say that she genuinely learned from her past mistakes. She understands now that she needs a responsible man. She needs a man that is quote unquote boring like you to be a part of her life, to give her some security and stability. You're saying that a man should not even entertain that female, even if she may be genuine, because you don't want to set yourself up to be potentially messed up?
I don't care what a man do. I'm telling you what I'm not doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, the men can do what they want to do. You know, at the end of the day, when you do me dirty that one time, you know what I'm saying? Anytime I let you back in my life after that is on me. Mm-hmm. So I'm mindful of that. You know, so if I let you in that second time you done came to me and things go bad, that's my fault. I can no longer say you tricked me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm mindful of it. I'm conscious and cognizant of that fact. So when you didn't let me know something up front and initially, I'm going to roll with that. That's embedded in my mind. When you come back 20 years later and you like, the only thing in my mind is like, oh yeah, you tried that path and you realized it was trash. Now you want me. I'm good.
Even if I'm genuine.
Man, I don't, how am I know you genuine?
Oh, damn.
It's going to take me some living with you to even find out you genuine or not. I'm not going to just take your word off of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, how I'm supposed to know you genuine because you done told me 20 years later?
Damn.
Like, no, I don't trust you. All I know is what you told me initially, and then the life you lived for 20 years.
Oh,
by chasing these type of dudes. Now, all of a sudden, overnight, I'm supposed to think you genuine. Oh. Because you done learned all of this type of nonsense. Like, nah, that don't mean you changed. I would need a bunch of evidence I'm a science freak, you know, so I need evidence that you changed. The only evidence I can have is me dealing with you for a period of time. I ain't going off of the secondhand information from other people, secondhand sources, of people saying, yeah, she used to be. Nah, the only evidence I can have is me acknowledging the growth, the evolution, the elevation. And if I don't have no evidence of that, then we got to deal with each other for some months or a year or so. And I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time for that, man. I'm not about to sign up for stress. If you want to do that, like, listen, if it's a difference between if a sister is kind of hesitant, like, oh, okay, you live this type of life, and I don't know about that, like that ain't my cup of tea, but I'm willing to give it a chance. Opposed to a sister outrightly telling you you're boring because you do X, Y, and Z. That's different. Big difference. If you just blatantly in my face let me know what I do is boring, I don't want to have anything to do with you. If you like hesitant, like, ooh, I ain't never been with somebody that reads and that do this, well, that's new to you. You open. But if you just let me know to my face, oh, you read, you lame. I'm good on that type of mentality. I'm good. I'm great. Thank you.
But I was young and dumb. I didn't know.
And you old and dumb now. Oh. So I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
Love.
So I'm good.
My love, but what if she was young then? She ain't know no better.
Man, I know a lot of people. Man, the percentage of people actually changing. Let's quit sugarcoating shit. The percentage of people actually changing is very small. When you see a person at 20 and you see that person 20 years later, 90% of the time it hasn't much changed. Let's be real, man. We act like people just straight be evolving out here. That don't be happening like that, man. That do not be happening like that. That do not be happening like we say it do. It just don't. It's a very small percentage of people that actually be changing. Very small percentage. Especially if you was in your 20s and you done went 15, 20 years with this certain type of lifestyle. Man, that's habit. You know what I'm saying? It's habit, man. So it ain't gonna be nothing for you to slip up, even if you think you changing. You know, I don't have time for that, man. I don't have time for that. If you have time for that, that's cool. But again, that'll be signing up for stress, and I'm not signing up for that nonsense, man. Somebody letting you know that, hey, you boring. And the only way this gonna work is if you change how you are. If you do X, Y, and Z things that you don't fool with doing, I'm good, because I'm not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna do it. You come back 20 years later, I feel sorry for you, because where I was at 20 years ago, I'm 20 years past that. So you just caught up to the 20-year-old version of me at 40. So we 20 years later, now where you think I'm at 20 years after the fact? So if you tried to talk to me 20 years ago and you said what I was doing was boring, and then 20 years later we back and you say, well, you know what, I do need this type. Where do you think my mind is at now? Where do you think I'm at with it now? I'm good on that, man. I'm good on that type of vibe. 20 years later from a person I tried to put on game 20 years ago. I'm on a whole different realm of reality 20 years later. I ain't even thinking about you no more. So stay away from me.
Damn.
Like, you 20 years late. Ain't no telling where my mind is at 20 years after the fact when I was trying to put you on game 20 years ago. You 40, now thinking like how you should have been thinking at 20 when I had the conversation with you. And I'm 40 and I'm thinking like I'm 80 mentally. So that it still ain't gonna work. You still got it just still ain't gonna work, man. Nobody got time for that, man. Ain't nobody got time for that.
This is why I personally go so hard, my love. Because what I want to do is, like I said earlier, change the culture, change the mentality of a lot of these, at least young ladies, young women coming up, so that they are not met with this situation of guys like you, to where it's like, bitch, I don't trust you. You know, you it's impossible for you to have evolved and elevated and grown, you know, this tremendously overnight. Like, I don't believe you. Even if you are genuine. It's a lot of guys who just flat out would not even want to take that type of gamble or chance on these females because you don't know her intentions. So what I'm tired of and what I'm trying to do is call these things out so we can correct it earlier on. That way you don't have to get to a point to where, you know, it's 20 years later and now I'm 40 and I got 5 kids and I'm struggling and all of this. And now I want to knock on Eric's door because Eric was responsible with his life. And Eric was the type of guy that was disciplined and not out being rowdy in the streets and stuff like that. But again, he was boring and corny to me. But now I know that I need that.
And maybe I genuinely understand it now. I get it now. I want to have Eric to be a part of my life. I want to be complimentary to Eric's life, but a lot of Erics don't trust it, don't believe it.
You only genuinely feel that way because the path you was trying to travel down did not work. So I'm not finna be your last oh shit, I done tried to exhaust all my options and they ain't working. So now here I genuinely understand. No, you don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't genuinely understand. The dudes that you wanted kept whooping your ass, kept cheating on you, and now here you are. You know what I'm saying? So that ain't genuine to me. That's not genuine to me. You was basically forced to come back to my door because you tired of getting your ass beat, you tired of getting cheated on, you know what I'm saying? All that. So you was forced to my door. So I don't trust that being genuine at all. Like I said, you're gonna have to show and prove to me through your ways and actions, and that may take years. You ain't just wake up 20 years later and be like, oh, okay, now I get them. No, you went through some crazy situations and that stuff didn't work out, and now you forced to my door now. And I'm good. I'm not doing that. And unfortunately, a lot of brothers that would be in my type of state of mind, they take on them type of sisters. No, I'm not, don't do that, fam. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? I don't trust that. You can never trust that.
Oh.
Like, you can never trust that. Because ain't nothing genuine about that. Ain't nothing genuine about that, fam. Ain't nothing genuine about that at all. Trust me. Nothing genuine about that. It took you 20 years of abusive relationships for you to say, oh, this type of dude ain't abusive. Let me go ahead and knock on his door. I remember him. He was trying to talk to me back in the day. He was a nice guy. He don't seem like he'd do this, that, and the third. He looks successful. Nah, nope. You tired of getting your ass beat. You tired of getting abused. You tired of getting cheated on. You tired of getting disrespected. Now you want Mr. Respectable or respectful. So no, I don't trust that as being genuine at all. Like I said, you got to show and prove, and that's gonna take years of us dealing with each other. You know what I'm saying?
And you saying you ain't got years. You ain't got time for this shit. Is what you're saying.
Could have it, but I'm not finna waste my time on that because you already let me know. What's gonna happen is when you get with a chick like that, for 9 times out of 10, boom, you gonna be taking care. The moment she comes across another one of them toxic ass dudes that she likes, she finna cheat. She finna deal with them. Ain't finna be nothing. It ain't gonna be nothing. Like I said, it's a habit. It ain't gonna be nothing. As soon as she see one of these dudes again, guess what's gonna happen? I didn't heard stories like that. I done heard plenty of stories like that. Good, so-called good dude, and took her in. Years later, she done had a certain type of dude that she was dealing with 10, 15 years. I ain't that old. You know what I'm saying? 10, 15 years. So this good dude, that she ditched back in the day, then finally got her and dealt with her. Next thing you know, she creeping behind dude back with these same low down dudes. Same low down dudes, man. Come on, man. Y'all, we gotta understand how habits work and things like that. I'm not that quick to be like, oh, people can change overnight. Hell no. I know how hard it is to change habits. I know. So you ain't finna just tell me, oh, now I see the light. You gonna have to show me that you see the light. 100%. Cause I know how difficult
But
it is.
how can I show you if you don't let me?
That's what I'm saying. There are some brothers out here that will allow them. I'm not. Because again, if I let you in after what you done told me and shown me for 20 years and you do me dirty, all I can do is look in the mirror and say, damn, I should have known. And I ain't got time for that. I know better, fam. You got sisters out here that you ain't gotta wait 20 years. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta wait 20 years to convince them, oh, it's good on this side. So no, I'm not doing that. No, I'm not doing it, fam. I'm not doing it. Like I said, if you got time to play those type of games with a chick, then hey, go ahead and do it. Your boy would never be on that type of time.
Damn, okay, my little shit. See,
I'd rather be solo dolo than deal with that. 100%.
That's why I go so hard, ladies. Y'all don't understand my love. It's a lot of Erics out there like, nah, bitch, I don't trust you. I don't care if you have grown, evolved, elevated, matured, saw the motherfucking light. Good for you, Lord. And Eric is, I would consider you to be a pretty, nice guy. I would consider, like, you're a pretty decent man, my love. Like, you're not somebody that's just, like, heartless and cutthroat like that. Like, you are a very understanding, patient type of brother. So, for you to have that mentality, Y'all fucking up. Like, I just don't even know. Like, this shit. Anyway, Dad says, preach, brother, preach. They always try to come back after they've been used, abused, and ran through by Pookie, Ray Ray, Tyrone, and his little cousin Man Man. Look here. We ain't got time, Diz. But that's facts, though. Lord have mercy.
That's what I'm saying. Especially if you're from like a small city, like you know the history of some of these chicks. Like, man, don't come talking to me.
Oh, damn, my love.
You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't, like, just don't come talking to me when I know your story. Like, I know how you got down. Now you want to talk to me. And I was trying to save you from that lifestyle 20 years ago.
Hold on, you trying to say the house?
No, I'm just saying in general.
I'm just being
funny. Was trying to get you from that lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? He may have saw potential in you, whatever the case may be. You was like, nah, I want to be out here. And then now you was out here all of a sudden, and we know the same people, so I know what you out here doing. Then you try to come to me 20 years later, 15 years later, like, nah, I know what you was doing. I got homeboys that done dealt with you. Like, I don't want to deal with none of that. Like, man, what type of street code? Our generation might be the last to deal with some of these street codes, man, but I'm not finna be wifing up a chick that the homeboys can pass around. That don't even make any sense. Like, we good on that. Like, I ain't finna...
But that was back then.
Nope.
Don't matter.
No.
Damn.
It's not mattering on this end, because again, that's not genuine. You done got ran through, you done got disrespected and abused, and now you want to come to my... No. Like, no, I don't... Like, if can't nobody see through that, then I don't know what else to tell them. Like, nah, you ain't finna just come to me after all your options are out. That's like a person being picked last on the team. Like, when you was playing sports back in the day, you got picked last. Man, you felt some type of way. Like, damn, man, they gonna pick me last? Like, what the... Like, that ain't make you feel good. Like, yeah, they picked me last. I'm finna ball out. Nah, when you got picked last, you was like, hell no, I'm pissed off. You ain't feel good about that. So when you that dude and they done picked you last, and you know you was better than some of the dudes that got picked ahead of you, man, I'm not finna deal with that. I'm not finna deal with that. You can go ahead and deal with them same type of dudes that you was dealing with. That's on you. It ain't. I'm not finna save you. I'm not your savior, fam. I'm not your Lord and Savior at that particular moment. You could probably find one that is, but I'm not. I'm Pimp C fan up here. Y'all know Brother Pimp. I ain't dealing with none of that.
My love.
We ain't dealing with none of that. I'm not dealing with none of that.
My love, he went to Pimp C.
I got codes back in the day. Like, that's what I'm saying. The way we used to roll back in the day, man. You know what I'm saying? It was situations where I know I could have done certain things, but I'm like, man, the homeboys been with that. Nope. I'm not finna do it. I mean, I can't get that. I'm not doing that, fam. That's just the way.
So you wouldn't even smash her though.
That's the way I was living at that time.
Now I'm not saying wipe her up, but you ain't even hitting.
I wasn't doing none of that. I know some dudes on that, but I wasn't even doing that, man. I'm just like, nah, fam. Like,
so you don't want none of these ran through hoes. It don't matter.
I wasn't dealing with none of that.
Not even on.
And if I got with somebody at the time and I didn't know their full history, because again, you may be 16, 17, so I ain't got the mind that I have now. So if I got with somebody and I started to find out things while we was together, man, I'm down. Nah, we gone, we done.
Dang.
And man, I'm not dealing with that. I wasn't personally.
But Eric, I showed you the real me. They didn't get the real me. They may have been up in it, but
I don't know nothing about that. Because I wasn't there. See, you could tell me whatever, but again, it goes one ear out the other. I don't care about what a lot of people say. A lot of people gonna tell you what they feel like you want to hear, things like that. So you're not finna captivate me with words. I'm the wrong person to try to captivate with words. Yeah, I hear you, but I ain't believing you. You know what I'm saying? I don't care nothing about that. You know, once I start seeing things ain't lining up, your actions ain't lining up, and I know for a fact you done ran in certain circles, and I'm just getting proof that you done dealt with certain individuals, I'm good, fam. I'm great.
Y'all in here laughing at this dude. Like, it's crazy, man. Like, and like I said, like, Eric is a pretty understanding, you know.
I wasn't always, see, that's what I'm saying. Some of you got correct, too. People look at me now and think this how I always been. Incorrect. I wasn't always understand, like I wasn't always on that type of time. Like when you talk about change, I evolved. Like I changed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't always on that type of time where it was like, I'm patient, I'm understanding. Like, I've dealt with temper problems. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, the moment a chick, if I get with a chick at 16, 17, the moment that they showed me someone right and exact, I left. No, I don't like that. And it could have been something small at the time too. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't always have patience and things like that, man. But with something like that, I'm not about to sign up for that stress though. I'm not finna sign up for it, especially when I tried to put you on game 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? If I tried to put you on game 20 years ago, man, and you was calling my lifestyle boring, it'd be different if you said I just ain't interested in that. Mm-hmm. That's different. And then 20 years later, you say, you know what? You tried to introduce me to this type of life 20 years ago, but I told you I wasn't interested because that just wasn't my cup of tea. Mm-hmm. That's cool. But if you just flat out in my face was like, nah, that's boring, that's lame, you corny, you weak, and this, that, and the third, 20 years later, I don't want to deal with that person. Mm-hmm. But if you was just like, nah, I'm not interested in you because of this, that, and the third, like if it was a better conversation than, oh, you trash, you lame, you corny. Mm-hmm. Those are the type of women, nah, I'm good. Like, you ain't just changing overnight.
Right.
But a person that was just like, nah, I ain't interested. You know, like I ain't interested in what you on right now. Like, I ain't really trying to eat the best right now. I want to enjoy my life. I want to eat how I want to eat, and I don't think it's gonna work.
Or I want to be in the streets.
If she say that, then again, I'm not dealing with that. But if it's a better conversation, it's a certain way that you can have this conversation.
No,
but if you let me know that you really want to be out here in the streets, what's to say 20 years later, like that mindset ain't gonna develop again? How am I supposed to trust you 20 years later, y'all?
I'm saying, okay, my love, but check this out. With that logic, what if at the time you were more of a homebody, studying, reading type of guy, and I'm like, yeah, Eric, I think you're a really nice guy, you're cute and everything, but you know, I'm more of a nature of being out and being on the scene and, you know, partying and mingling, and so I don't feel like we would mesh. Would you take that woman back?
I'm saying, that's an honest conversation. And at the time, when it comes to understanding, at the time I understood that because of where I was at with it. I was 20, 21, having conversations with, or 18, 19, having conversations with other 18 and 19-year-old women. I understood that at 18 and 19, not everybody is trying to stay at the crib and read and eat a certain type of way. I understood that people want to go out, party, clubbing. So I'm able to compromise because I'm 18, 19. The difference is when you want to do that all the freaking time and you ain't not at no weekend are you trying to stay at the crib. Like when you trying to force me to adopt that lifestyle and you not trying to compromise with me at that stage in our lives, that's when I would have a problem. When you just ain't willing to make any type of compromise, you like, look, since you do this, because at the end of the day, like I would never want to shun that completely because I used to be out here. That's what I'm saying. I never was no like lame dude by those terms because I used to party. I used to do all of that. So it wasn't nothing for me to say, all right, man, if you want to go out one time, 1 or 2 times, I could do that because I used to do it. So it wasn't really a problem. Like the problem lies in when I say I don't want to do it this one time or these 2 weeks in a row and I'd rather, you know, study or something, and that becomes a problem after I done just did what you wanted to do for the first 2 weeks. And now you got a problem when I decide to say, you know what, man, I'm just trying to read this time. I'm tired of going out.
So do you think it's an instance of a lot of females today not being able to handle a responsible man?
I mean, I don't...
Like, can we honestly handle a responsible man?
Y'all can handle whatever y'all want to handle. Y'all just don't want, some of them don't want to they don't want to deal with that type of individual. Like we all talked about, they want to live a certain type of lifestyle, so they don't want to do that. Y'all can handle whatever it is that y'all want to handle. But they don't want to deal with a brother that is putting himself first, you know, that's trying to build. Say, you know what? Nah, I ain't finna go to, like, that's too much money we wasting on this club. Let's put this money up, you know, and let's build toward the future. You can handle that. You might not want to, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, anybody can handle that. So I ain't finna say, yo, you can't handle that. Yes, you can. You just do not want to handle a brother, like I said, that's about to tell you, you know what? We done been going out to eat way too often. Let's cut back on that. Let's save some of this money.
You feel like responsible men put themselves first, and that's
you have to. I study. Again, we talk about degrees. Unfortunately, I got to bring this up because I went to school for this. They told you when you read entrepreneurship books and business books, they tell you that You know, I remember I read a book about entrepreneurship from a black brother. He was like, man, you have got to get with a woman that understands that you got to put your business first. If you do not put your business first, then you can't provide the type of life that she wants. Even the brothers on the streets, they got to put the streets first. They got to put that first in order for them to make the money in the streets. So it ain't like they getting with these dudes from the streets and these brothers ain't putting the streets first. When these brothers got to do something dealing with the streets, guess what? Them brothers out there dealing with that. They dealing with that. They got to handle that because that comes first, because that's how they're able to afford that lifestyle. You know, but at the end of the day, like I said, they get that cash a little bit faster than we get it. But at the end of the day, you have to put your business first as a man, because if I don't, then how we going to do what it is that you want to do? And sometimes when it comes to the responsible brothers doing it the legitimate way, that money not coming fast enough for them, so they can't understand a brother putting himself first when he's trying to build a legitimate business, because he gonna have some slow months, he gonna have some slow years. So she not able to understand that. But the brothers in the street, the brothers in the streets, they gotta put the streets first, because that's how you able to live this lavish lifestyle. It ain't nobody. If any brother is honest, like, they gonna tell you this truth straight up. There's no way that you can put a woman first, then your business, and still be able to take your business to the level that you need to take it to in order for y'all to be able to afford an extravagant lifestyle. Nah, they'll be lying. They'll be lying. Every business book, every piece of advice I done got from a business owner, they said the same thing. And they said their wife was okay with that. All these successful men that I study literally has said, I got to put my business first, because this business is going to afford us the lifestyle that you want to live and our family.
But see, I would equate that to them. They just can't handle.
They can't. They just don't want to. Because again, the brother in the streets, he's putting the streets first. When he got to handle this street situation, he's putting it first. That money just comes in faster.
I see what you're saying.
So they just don't. They don't want to. They don't want to deal with a brother that, oh, he got a gym, but it's like, this ain't dope money. So man, I'm finna have some slow months. You know what I'm saying? People finna start vacationing. So this month might be light. I can't go out there and you know what I'm saying, cut some deals and bring in some fast money. Like, nah, I gotta take these slow months and we gotta cut back. You know what I'm saying? Like, that ain't as fast as I'm out here in the streets. You know, so it's a different ball game. They can handle that because we gonna survive at the end of the day. Yeah, I might have some slow months, but we ain't gonna be out here on the streets. I'm gonna be sure of that. But we might not be able to live this extravagant lifestyle for these months that you want to live. Anybody can do that. They just don't want to. They don't want to cut back on Ruth Chris for a few months. They want to eat this. They want to eat this fancy food that's trash.
Right.
So that's what it is.
Thank you. Bobby says, I'm 1 hour behind on the live, but shout out to the Bell family. Overseas has to be about more than women. Business, mental health, food, education, so on. Shout out to Bobby. And we agree. Thank you, Terenzo. It says, these questions answer themselves. LOL. Hold on now. Who else did I see? Y'all like the video, share the video, and subscribe. We can't hit 800, okay? But we're going to ask for 700 likes, at least. Thank you, Tavis. It says, the royal family. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Yeah, my husband here going off. Thank you, Eugene. It says, this is a major example of how effed up black women's vetting processes are. Facts. You know, I don't want him because he's boring. I don't want him because he's responsible. You know, like, I've never heard somebody say, yeah, he's cute, but he just seems so responsible. Like, that's stupid as hell. It's not the same thing as, well, he's cute, but he's just, you know, somebody that is a little bit quirky or some shit like that. To where it's like, oh, he's just, but he's responsible. Like, that is a good thing. Like that, I just don't get it. But hey, thank you, Daryl. It says, now he's talking about a man's reputation.
And just, your reputation is everything. Guard it with your life. That's one of the 48 laws of power. They tell you your reputation and everything, so you better guard that with your life. So again, if you got a sister like that, that's why I said I wasn't never tapping into that. Because my reputation is everything. I ain't finna be known as that dude that tried to save such. Nope. Like, y'all ain't. That's how when dudes talk about simps and things like that, the reason why that's your reputation. You was the one that dealt with the sister that then slept with the whole football team and you tried to save her. So now they done labeled you the simp. That's your reputation now. So I wasn't never finna set myself up to be labeled as that dude. Because that's your reputation, and your reputation you got to guard with everything. So the moment you accept that one chick, now you finna be labeled this for a very long time. It's gonna be hard for you to shake that reputation.
Shout out to Taylor. She says, I appreciate this dope conversation. I love the dynamic. Please do more lives together. Molo, you gotta do more lives with me. You gotta make some time. Molo be busy. Like, we're not even exaggerating. But thank you so much, Taylor. Thank you, Slim Daddy. It says, who's to say that the BF would run into him again in 20 years? If he's progressive, his money would build. 2, he may be gone. He's not a 401k nor a diaper. Yeah, sometimes you just completely miss out. Like, you don't get the opportunity to even try to come back to plead your case. Like, no, that man is out of there. It's no coming back 20 years later like, oh, I'm sorry, and oh, I messed up, and I'm changed, and all of that. So that's also very true. Thank you, CJ. This show is going to be a classic. Crownhead Nation for life. Shout out to you, CJ. Thank you, Get Money. It says, talk that talk, King. Facts. Shout out to you, Get Money. Thanks again. Who else? Hello, you've been going in here going ham. Goodness grief. Thank you, Lorenzo. One shows by being the light. It's either on or it's off. Eugene says, people can change, but some change for the wrong reasons. If you learn your lesson, you will apply your knowledge with somebody else.
And that's what I'm saying. Like I said, everybody can change, but for the most part, people don't. Y'all got to understand the field that I'm in. Like, I see, you know what I'm saying? Like, my whole thing is try to get people to change habits. You know, and 10% of people that come to me actually change, like, their habits, man. So it's, you come on.
D-Pain says they want cleanup men. Ain't that something? You know, and the same men that you call corny and Lord and all that, these are the men that you come crawling back to later. And again, who's to say that these men will even be accessible or they would even want you? Like, we got to do better. We have got to do better. We have got to stop equating things that are supposed to be positives with negatives. Thank you, Shedrick. It says, yep, I am not your last resort. I'm going to flip them same words I've heard. Who hurt you? Lord have mercy. Oh, goodness. Let me see. Who else? Okay, I think I'm caught up because I'm back at Des. If I missed anybody, I apologize. I do appreciate it. Okay, we do appreciate it because you guys do not have to do that. Oh, here it is. Freedom says, is your husband from Cali? Well, like, everybody think he's from Cali. It says, just curious. He got them hard R's like a LA cat. Very distinctive. I told you the same thing we first started talking about. I was like, Malo, are you from Cali? Like, are your people from Cali? No, you just talk like that. But you do have a lot of family in Cali, though.
Yeah, I got.
You never met him though before.
Met him. Apparently, if Snoop Dogg is watching, apparently that's my cousin. But I got
they say Snoop Dogg is his cousin.
I got a lot of people in Cali.
That's what his auntie told him.
Yeah, I got people in Cali for sure, but I ain't met them. Most of my people Mississippi.
Yeah, but I swear up and down, Freedoms. I asked him that when we first met. I'm like, why you talk like a Cali dude? But thank you, Brandon. It says he right, bro's freaking true. Hold on now. Who else? Toronto says military voice. A man simply does not want a ran through and used up female. Sincerely, epigenetic inheritance equals generational curses or gifts. Pick one. Ladies, apply the philosophy to yourselves about males. Okay, now. Hold on. Who else do I see? Thank you, LA. It says, if she didn't want you in her prime, you shouldn't want her in her decline. Lord have mercy. Y'all don't have no mercy, do y'all?
They didn't have mercy on the dude. So why would the dude have mercy on that? Like, you gonna call the whole dude lifestyle boring and why would he have mercy? She didn't have mercy on him. I don't care what it is. I'm mature now. So I'm definitely not gonna have any mercy. because I don't have time to be playing. So if at any point somebody should have mercy, it's when you young, you got time to be playing around. I'm definitely not having mercy in my 40s and 50s. I don't have time to be wasting. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the worst time to have any type of mercy. I'm 40. I don't have 5 years to be wasting. So now I ain't got no mercy as I get older. That don't even make any sense. I might have mercy at 20 because if we waste 5 years, I'm 25 now.
Right.
But no, I'm 40. I waste 5. I'm 45. Man, I don't have time for that. So no, there is no mercy.
Clocks in says, I needed to hear this, Eric, because I'm the first one to try and change a woman for the better, even if I know she's not for me, and I paid the price.
Yep, nope. All right. Because on the flip side, we don't like it when folks try and change us. So I ain't got time for it. The only thing that's met with force is resistance. So I ain't got time to be fighting with nobody, man. I don't know if that's what y'all like, that's what y'all like. But I don't have time to be fighting with folk. You know, no.
True Seeker says it's time to boycott these 304s. Lord have mercy. Thank you, Slim Daddy King. If she isn't good ground, the seed will just spoil. Don't cast your pearls in seeds before swine. I'm not gonna wait for her to grow up. Hashtag passport. We ain't mad at you, Slim Daddy. Thank you, Rob. It says, what up, family? Who determines what corny is? Who's mature? Who's the prize? Or who's out of the order? Society tends to paint a picture when the rest of the world rejects it. A man is what a man is. Lorenzo says, a culture of people can't reverse a psychological pattern that they aren't doing, and those they shouldn't be creating patterns that must be reversed in the first place. Thank you, Des. It says, I hear you on eating healthy. Last year I weighed 507. Wow. Now I'm 420 and still going down, all because I changed my mindset with food and taking accountability to become the best version of myself. Shout out to you, Des. That's commendable. Keep it up. Please keep it up. Y'all here die laughing. Y'all crazy. Hold on. Freedom says, you gotta lead by example. Do vlogs about what healthy foods you eat in a day and show how it benefits your daily life. That's what my wife and I are gonna do. These chicks can't be controlled.
Man, yeah, I got it. Yeah, that works a small percentage of the time. That's my whole job.
Yeah.
I'm a personal trainer, vegan, all of that, and about 10% of the clientele, and I'm the main one that leads by example, man. People just be BSing and making excuses, man. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, the people, like what they say, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. You know, man, even with the clientele that I train, man, very small percentage of people actually come to me and be like, man, you know what? I'm trying to really tighten up on the eating, man. But at the end of the day, like 80-90% of the client base, they don't even want to hear when I start talking about going plant-based or changing the way that you're eating and things like that. They thinking just exercising is good enough, man. So it's hard, man, to really get people to put things into motion, man. It's hard, man, because people hard-headed and stubborn.
Man, tell me about it.
So,
I mean, you can't even get a female to understand what you're saying without her saying that you pick me, male-identified, pandering hoe. So, I mean, people just be stuck in their ways and messing up. Thank you, Mike Jones, again. It says, overspend on trash food for status. Eric trademarked that. I like that. That's what we do. That's what we do. But everything goes back to status. When you really think about it, especially with a lot of these females, you know, everything goes back to, how does this make me look? I can't be with this responsible guy because he's going to make me look corny too. He's going to make me look lame too. You know, I'm going to be bored with him. You know, I can't be that chick. I got to be the girl that's on the scene. I got to be the chick that's with the reckless wild guy that is able to tame him though. You know what I mean? And it's all, again, to make me look like I'm that chick. Thank you, See Done Visuals. It says, men lead. It's up to them to follow. If they can't get with it, they can kick rocks. We ain't mad at it. Okay? Thank you, G Money. Danica has been called everything but her name for telling the truth. Just let that sizzle in your spirit. I'm telling you, I've been called it all. Been called it all. And all I've been trying to do is help. But hey, it's like my husband said, you can't make nobody do nothing. It's just gonna have to come at a time in their life to where they want to do something differently. But my whole thing is, will it be too late for you to do something differently? You know? Jeffrey says, so happy to finally hear from Mr. Bell. I was called corny for being studious, but I didn't change. What I learned has helped me to be the responsible person I am. Shout out to Uncle Stu. It says, love seeing this, supporting the family. One love. Shout out to Uncle Stu. Okay? Y'all go and check out Uncle Stu, the old man on the block. Great content. And he's always showing love and support. Thank you, Shooting from the Sky. It says, he is right. I was eating Uber McDonald's during lockdown and almost got a stroke. Whoa. Look, y'all gotta take care of yourselves. And that's something else that needs to be highlighted, though, because a lot of guys out there could be trying to do things to appease a lot of these females of today. And with a lot of us just operating from the ego and how things look and, you know, status, a lot of guys can play into, oh, okay, well, let me go ahead and wine and dine her at this expensive place, even though it's trash. And then before you know it, it's taking a toll on your health. It's taking a toll on your finances. It's taking a toll on your mind, your mentality, and all of that. And you could really end up killing yourself trying to please these females. So I think it's important that you highlighted earlier that you should operate from a place of putting yourself first and making sure that you're good and allowing things to flow through you and to you. Because we're trying to do things to obtain certain things, as far as a woman especially, it could really be your downfall. It could be to your detriment.
And look, like I said, stress kills. So anything that contributes to stress, like you gotta examine that. You know what I mean? Like if you try and take care of your health, she could vouch for that. You know, it was when we first met, man. I wasn't never going. Like if we was somewhere, man, they was eating some food I ain't eat it. You know, and sometimes people will come around and be like, man, you ain't no fun. You ain't gonna have you none of that. You ain't gonna have you none of this. You ain't no fun. She done saw people come to me and be like, you ain't no fun. Because I'm out here like, nah, I ain't eating that because I'm focusing on my health. You know, so if you get with somebody that can't understand that, man, you gotta really examine that because I'm gonna stand on mine. So if that's gonna cause some problems, then you got to go because again, stress kills. And I don't know about y'all, but I value my life. You know, I'm trying to live, and I'm trying to live a great quality of life. You know, so if you get with a woman that is stressing you out, your quality of life, it declines. And that when your quality of your life declines, like your health is declining along with that. And that's going to come with a lot of different problems. Now you 35, 40, you got heart problems, you having strokes, heart attacks, all these type of situations, man. We don't have time for that, man. That's an underrated contributing factor to dis-ease. A toxic woman, toxic relationships. That stuff contributes to disease, man. So a lot of these brothers, and we are at the top in regards to how we suffering from these diseases. A lot of these situations can be caused by us dealing with toxic women. You know, so if you dealing with a toxic woman and you got a lot of health issues, man, some of them issues might go away as soon as you remove the toxic woman.
Damn.
You know, so again, you gotta analyze your health in association with the women you dealing with, because you could be unhealthy because of the choice of women or the women that you're dealing with. You know, so you gotta make that's a big decision. That's gonna be the biggest decision you make in your life. You know, so you do not want to get with somebody that's contributing to stress, because that will kill you. It is killing us, fam. Like it is killing us. When you see these brothers dropping dead early, and a lot of them wasn't in good situations with relationships, they was fighting to see their kids, things like that. Like a lot of that is a contributing factor, fam. We ain't finna sleep on that. We dealing with accountability. Like we finna deal with accountability. Some of them sisters are contributing to that. You know? So they want to talk about all the brothers being locked up, dead in jail, but some of them contributing to us being locked up and dead. So again, like some of them sisters that's telling brothers, hey, y'all getting locked up, y'all snitching on the brothers, y'all setting brothers up. You know what I'm saying? Y'all living these lifestyles that's causing stress, that's killing the brothers early. So look in the mirror, man. Some of y'all are responsible for the statistics being the way that they are in regards to dudes being unhealthy. You dudes out here trying to please you to the point where you killing himself. But you satisfied though. So your life expectancy is increasing because he taking care of you. The whole while he neglecting himself. And then if he sit and complain about it, then you want to call him soft. So he got to hold all this stuff in. So now he done killed himself. He done killed himself. Because he got to hold all this in because he taking care of you. Because you want to live a lavish lifestyle and you stressing him out. Whole while he can't say nothing because the world don't care if a black man out here complaining. So man, look in the mirror, man. Look in the mirror when y'all see these brothers out here suffering from all these ailments and whatnot. Pay attention to how you could be contributing to that. Instead of criticizing these brothers. You know, instead of saying what dudes ain't doing. Oh, they ain't going to the doctor, they ain't doing this, that, those shit. We wouldn't have to go to the damn doctor if we wasn't dealing with some of the nonsense. You know what I'm saying? You want to go out to all these trash restaurants every other night. Now bro got a colon problem. He wouldn't have a colon problem if you wasn't trying to eat a certain type of way. You know what I'm saying, man? I train, so I talk to folk. I train dudes. And I've seen dudes get pulled in that type of lifestyle. Whole while, they telling me they want to be vegan. Oh, man, my girl, she ain't going, though. You know, she always trying to go to these restaurants. I don't even really want to eat that stuff. Like, man, you better stop eating that. But I done seen it. I done seen that firsthand up close and personal with my profession. Dudes confiding to me in solitude that they want to eat a certain type of way, but it's like they trying to please this chick, so now they going to all these fancy restaurants and they notice that they health ain't right. I'm like, man, look, you better change. You better change that up. That ain't gonna end well for you. You know, so I didn't seen this, man. I didn't seen it up close and personal, fam. So some of you sisters need to look in the mirror, man. Y'all contributing to the death of some of these black men by adding on to that stress, man.
Yeah, like I said, like even if you want to be responsible because you're dealing with a female that's just not on that type of energy, or you know, she wants things done a particular way, it could knock you off course.
It will.
It will.
That's why you gotta put, man. Our life expectancy is shorter than y'all's. We got to be on point, fam. We can't be we can't be slipping up like that, fam. Like we just can't. You know what I'm saying? So dudes got to put a stop to all that, man. For real. That's why I be so hard on brothers when it comes to stuff like that, man. Because if you following that chick with things, half these women don't know what they want to eat. You know what I'm saying? So quit letting her guide you in that direction, fam. You know, you got to be leading in that regards, man. Now you got to tell her, now we not eating that, fam. If she think you bored, she think you ain't no fun, let her go. Let her go, man. Because last time I checked, man, we dropping like flies too early.
Yeah. So
we got to get on point, fam. And we can't be letting these women be the downfall of us, man. And some of us is allowing that to happen.
Good point. Thanks, Des. Again, nice guys finish last, but we definitely get the last laugh in the long run. 100. Thank you, D Payne. It says, moral of Eric's rant, tap in with self first. Peace to you, D Payne. Thank you, Omega Green. It says, FBA women have a polarity that repels her from responsible men in youth and only reverses it to be attracted to a responsible man after she's been ran through with a fleet of kids in tow. How you feel about that, my love? Would you take, well, we already know you ain't gonna do it, but would you blame a man for taking a female in after years of her not wanting him and feeling like he's too responsible for her, but now she got kids and all that? Let me ask you this. How you feel about dating a woman with kids if you don't have none?
I mean, I did that in high school. You know what I'm saying? So I did that in high school. This is already common knowledge. Like we didn't already discuss this. That happened in high school. When I was a junior in high school. The chick that I went to prom with my junior year, she had a daughter. So I had already been there, done. See, people don't be knowing. Like, people think that I ain't been through nothing. People think I ain't dealt with
Let me find out you was out here baby daddying in high school.
I definitely wasn't on that type of vibe. She just had a kid. You know? So it wasn't like I'm taking care of this. I wasn't doing none of that. But she had a daughter. You know what I'm saying? That's just what that was, though. So again, people don't be knowing the half. They look at the situation, they judge based off what they see. Now I'm like, I've been through most of what a lot of these dudes complain about, and I've been through it in a short amount of time.
So, okay, so you did it in high school. How did that turn out?
But again, in high school, I was on some other, like, my mindset, I was nowhere near the person that I am today. Like, in high school, I was a savage. I didn't care about anything and anybody for real like that. You know what I'm saying? So that situation just kind of happened, but it wasn't like I was, like, seriously involved, and I was out here doing some other stuff too. But I went to prom with her. She had a daughter. You know what I'm saying? I've been there, done that.
What?
But in high school, like I said, man, I was a savage, man. So I ain't really. That was toxic. Everything about that was toxic.
So you were just kicking it with her anyway. So it wasn't even nothing serious anyway.
I mean, I guess it was serious. We dated enough. We dated a long enough time to go to prom. But man, like I said, I was a savage in high school, so dating at that time didn't mean nothing. You know, so we dating. We say we dating. We at school together dating. But it's like outside of that, man, you talking to anybody you want to talk to. So I wasn't really taking that seriously like that. But that's just how I was in high school, man. I didn't really care about none of that.
But would you do it now?
I'm a totally different person now. Like I said,
and would you encourage brothers to do?
Let me know. Like it all goes back to the way that you came to me initially 20 years prior. If you came to me and you told me that I'm a boring, lame type of dude. If you diss me like that, I don't want nothing to do with you 20 years later. I'm sorry. But if 20 years ago the conversation was more respectable and you come to me, you might have a kid or two, I might consider that.
Really?
I might consider that. You gonna consider a lot of different things. You know what I'm saying? I said consider. I didn't say I would just automatically accept it.
I'm surprised you would even consider it.
Because again, it's all about, if we didn't leave on the worst of terms, if you didn't just diss me in my face and we had a respectful conversation and you got a kid or two, then it's like, and we have a conversation and you explain how you got up to this point and it makes sense to me. Yes, I'm gonna consider it. I didn't say I'm gonna accept it, but I just said I would consider that.
I'm just surprised. I mean, you
but again,
was
that's
earlier, like,
no,
fuck them hoes.
No, that's because that's the different type of person. If the person initially came at me sideways and she got one kid, then it's automatically no. But if we had a conversation 20 years ago and you was just like, I'm not interested in that, ain't my cup of tea, the conversation was respectful, I said, that was my disclaimer. I would entertain that chick 20 years after the fact. I will entertain that chick 20 years after the fact.
You would take care of kids that ain't yours?
I will consider it. Like we're gonna have to have a conversation about
I'm
that.
saying,
because if I'm 40, I got to be realistic. It's gonna be hard pressed for you to find somebody at that point that ain't got a kid. So I'll be looking kind of foolish if I'm thinking I'm finna just find somebody that ain't got a kid. So that's almost like expected at that point. Okay. If I'm in my 40s. So if you got a kid or two, I'm like, oh wow, okay, that's not a shocker. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say I would consider that, because it's like I got to be realistic at that point.
Okay, I want to start a poll now. I want to ask the brothers in my chat something. Would y'all date women that had kids if she was the ideal woman? Hold on, let me see. Start a poll. Would you date a woman that had children if you didn't have any, but she was a good catch? Okay, let's ask. Would you date a woman? I spelled that wrong. Hold on. Would you date a woman that had children if you didn't have any, but she was a good catch? Okay, let's ask.
Because on my platform, it's a lot of older gentlemen. So I feel like this is a very good question to ask them, because they're older in age. And maybe it is difficult for them to come across women that don't have any children at all.
Like I said, I will consider it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you got to wait.
But a lot of men say, I ain't considering. No, you completely X'd off the rip. Like,
right,
I'm not taking care of nobody's kids. Like, you cool and everything, but hell no. I want to know.
Like I said, that's what you own. That's what you own. It will get considered, because at that time I'll be dealing with reality.
Is it Moni? She says, this has me excited to see y'all when y'all start traveling. Love to see it. Forever dropping jewels. Shout out to you, Moni. Appreciate you. How come I don't see the poll? Maybe I gotta go on actual YouTube. Okay, how long we gonna get the poll? We're gonna give the poll another minute, okay? We're gonna give you another minute on the poll, and then we're gonna end it. I want to know, would you date a woman that had children if you don't have any, but she was a good catch? All right. John Till said, I'll catch my flight. Lord have mercy. He said, hell no. It depends. Is the mom a hoe? Is she an evil woman? No. We're saying that You don't have any children, but the female, she does have children, but she's a good woman to you, you know? She's not a hoe, she's not in the street, she's not reckless, she just got kids. But everything else checks out. Would you date her? Yes or no? Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and end the poll. Dang, my love. 71% of you guys said you would not, and 28% of you guys said yes. Very interesting. Yeah, a lot of guys just not with, like, I'm not taking on those additional responsibilities. I'm not even going to consider taking on those additional responsibilities. You know, it's too much baggage. I don't have no kids. I want my own offspring. It's a lot going on with that. This week with JTT says, corny today, gold tomorrow. Too bad for you. 304. Lord have mercy. And I think I'm caught up, you guys. If I miss you, I really do apologize, though. Okay? I feel like I miss people, but I don't know. He says, hell no. Smash only. Lord have mercy. But see, if you're going to smash it.
See, that's why I'm saying the hypocrisy becomes.
That's kind of hypocrisy. That's hypocritical now.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not finna. I added a ton of disclaimers in that. So for the people that's saying, hell no, I don't feel like that's realistic. That's why I say you got to consider. I'm not finna act like it's going to be cut in stone if she got a kid or two. And this all boiled down to initially we was saying 20 years ago we didn't work out for whatever reason. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And 20 years later she come back and she done cleaned up and she got a kid or two. You know, I feel like it's layers to everything, man. So I'm not just gonna automatically be like, I'm gonna be like, nah, simply because she has kids. You know, it might be other. Man, I gotta analyze my relationships up to that point, and we dealing with a certain age as well. Like I'm in my 40s, 45. Like this is the age that I'm dealing with. You know, so if I'm 40, 45, and I dealt with it, or I was interested in a chick 20 years ago in our 20s, and she come back and she got. Y'all got to grow up is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just got to be real. I'm 45. What I expect to deal with somebody that was my same age. Like we ain't talking about you 45 and you dealing with a chick that is 20, 25. Like you dealing with, we was trying to talk 20 years ago. And it's the same chick. I'm supposed to think she ain't finna come in with no kids or something?
Well, a lot of guys date way younger.
But I'm saying the reason why we was talking about this is because we was talking about that situation. Mm-hmm. And we were saying 20 years after that, say she got kids. That's what you initially asked me. So we talking about I'm 40 and I'm dating somebody that's 25 or 30. That's different. We was initially talking about me dealing with somebody. 20 years later, she come back and now she done changed or whatever the case may be. She changed her outlook and now she has a kid or two. That's what I was answering it off of. That's different.
And this also a good level and layer, you know, if the children are older or younger, because if it's 20 years later, her kids could be in their 20s and they have no dealings as far as the relationship is concerned. So that's also a good level and layer, you know, but like it's always levels and layers, but I just thought I would get a general.
If your preference is to date women that ain't got no kids and you 45, like you obviously got to be dating a little bit younger. Cause you ain't finna come across.
But see, even the younger kid,
I mean,
the younger girls got the kids.
But what I'm saying, you definitely finna strike out with a 45-year-old woman. What you think she got? Damn, you think the young kids out here popping out? But the 45-year-olds used to be 25. So what you think they got?
John Till says, E knows football. She's running a play action pass. Lord have mercy. Who was that earlier? I pulled it up, but I didn't read it. Daryl. It says, nah. Tried it too many times in the past. It's a bad deal. A lot of y'all be messing it up. Cause it's some ladies out there to where, you know, maybe they do have children and the children are a part of the equation. And they're good women, but due to a lot of females in the past not holding up the end of the bargain or coming with too much baggage, it just really deters a lot of men from even wanting to explore it.
Man,
you know?
I'm gonna give y'all a prime example of like how I say things.
Thank you, Eric.
Like I know a lady where I started training her. Like she got like 2 or 3 kids. She up in age, but like her husband died tragically. Mm-hmm. Like he was just driving where he was working and had a heart attack. So you know what I'm saying? Like you could like that, like say she was a certain type of way 20 years ago, man. Her husband just died tragically, and she 45, 50. She got 2 kids, they grown. Like, man, you know, I'm not finna just automatically be like, no. You know what I'm saying? Like now, if I'm checking the history of her and she dealing with a certain type of dude, and now here she pop up at my crib with 4 kids, obviously no. You know, but if it's like the story is a little bit different, then that's why I say I will consider it. Because everybody that got these kids, like situations are different. Fam.
Yeah, that's true.
Like I know people that they dudes and just died tragically, and now what they supposed to do?
Should I see you, Bree, for becoming a channel member? Yeah, I do agree. Like it's different levels and layers to the conversation. Thank you, Mr. Darian. Where does Eric personally train? I'm in the STL.
No, I got my own spot, fam. If you know anything about St. Charles Rock Road, it's off of the Rock Road. But find me on Instagram, Facebook under Eric Bell. You type that in, you're gonna see me, and just hit me up if you're serious.
Yeah. He has his own gym. But yeah, there are different. Yeah, it's always levels and layers. But I'm gonna be honest, a lot of guys, it will be like, damn, that's track that's messed up, but hell no, I ain't taking on you and 3, 4 kids.
Right.
You know.
I said 1 or 2. So I said that personally within my answer. I said 1 or 2. I didn't say 3 or 4. I said 1 or 2 possibly would get considered. Again, consider it. At that point when you weighing options, man. So if you only got 5 options, 4 of them got kicked, like, you know what I'm saying? You got to weigh your options. Everybody got pros and cons.
Or you can just be like by your damn self.
Yeah, you could be by yourself, but it seemed like most of the people that's tapped in seeking relationships. So I'm dealing with that type of individual.
Or they can go overseas.
and get them 9 times out of 10, you're gonna, of course, the same way you would do it here, you have to go overseas and get you somebody young. Which is that's what you want to do, then by all means go ahead and do it.
I'm just teaching you, my love. But
man, some of them chicks overseas be popping out kids left and right because they be having arranged marriage. Like it be all type of stuff. They start having them kids early sometimes overseas, depending on the culture. Because that's how it gotta be. You know what I'm saying? So it be, man, y'all better, depending on where you go.
Let's not get started on the damn passport.
No,
Let's just not even
depending on where you go. Shit, they come with kids too.
Look, y'all. We've been on here for almost 2.5 hours. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I gotta cook and stuff. I'm sure you wanna unwind because you just came home and just got on with me, so I appreciate you. But yeah, y'all. I thought it would be a very dope discussion to have with my husband, considering that he is the type of guy that falls under the umbrella of being a responsible guy. And I want to get his perspective and his take on a few things. And we really did dive off into different elements and layers of different topics. And again, that makes the conversation more well-rounded and balanced, and I like that. You know, I like having differences of opinions and all of that. It just really helps us all to, you know, see things from different lenses and ultimately evolve and grow. So I appreciate all of y'all for tuning in. Again, ladies, we have got to change how we view responsible men that are actually masculine, men that are actually doing the necessary work, men that are prioritizing, you know, themselves and their foundations and making sure that in the grand scheme of things, everything is flowing and going smoothly and that they overall have success. We have to start prioritizing those men and respecting them and stop viewing them like they're corny or they're boring or they're lame or they're square and really just writing them off and thinking that we can come back later and have those same men take us in. A lot of times that's not the case. And like I said, with my husband, even though he can be cutthroat, you know, and a little savage, I would think that my husband is a lot more balanced and well-rounded and accepting and lenient in some regards when it comes to, you know, considering all factors. And so for him to even be like, no, I would not do X, Y, and Z, that speaks volumes to how we need to clean this shit up. Because even the quote-unquote nice guys, right, the ones that are not so savage to the extreme, even they are like, no, I'm not dealing with that, and no, I'm not taking you in, and no, I don't trust you, and no, I'm not, you know. So Why don't we get in the habit of doing the necessary work early? That way we can have what we need early on and stop having to wait around and play catch up later. So that was my whole thing with this dope discussion. That's really what I want to drive home. And like I said, I thought it would be very dope for me and my husband to come on, especially considering the fact that he is one of those quote unquote responsible men. And I know for a fact that he's maybe been called boring or whatever the case is due to, his personality type and things that he prioritizes. But y'all let us know how y'all feel about the dope discussion. All perspectives are welcome. All that we ask is that you be respectful. And we can keep the conversation going and flowing. My love, do you have any final words do you want to say before we wrap this on up?
Hey, all I got to say is she is calling me a nice guy. I ain't nice. I don't like people. So I don't care. I don't deal with none of that nice stuff. You on some trash. You just on some trash.
My love, you a pretty cool dude, my love.
Yeah, when I'm around the right people. and that's a very rare moment. You done seen me be annoyed in situations around people. So, you know what I'm saying? So, kudos to all the people that consider me nice, but I know I'm not.
My love is nice as hell. Y'all, we stay at the other place. Strangers come up to him, talking to him. He'll get them rides to work. Don't even know these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Give them rides to the damn corner store and shit. Like, my love, you cannot be out on you ain't nice. I
got plenty of examples that will demonstrate.
My love he's very helpful, very thoughtful. My love, you are nice.
That ain't got nothing to do with what I'm saying. Man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not about to be like I'm not gonna get into that. I ain't trying to make myself look like a bad guy, but I know at the end of the day, if I'm around somebody long enough, they gonna irritate me. You know what I'm saying? So like I know that for a fact. I can't be around people for that long without getting irritated. A little helpful situation here and there don't necessarily. I know a bunch of evil people that do good deeds. I ain't calling myself evil, but we ain't finna be tricked out by that. I just know I can get irritated with people rather quickly. You know what I'm saying? So that ain't.
My love is a stand-up guy, right. Okay?
Yeah. So
for him to be like, fuck these hoes, that speaks volumes.
I done always been like that. I didn't phrase it like that. So I told y'all back in the day I was a savage. Fam, I grew up on Snoop, Too Short, Pimp C, Uncle Luke, all these cats. So I've been on that type of time, man. I ain't never been no pleasant dude like that, man. I've always been a savage, man. But again, now I'm just low key and trying to grow and evolve. But I ain't never fooled with people like that, man.
Shout out to you, Rashawn. Look, Eric, he in denial, y'all. Eric is nice as hell. If you ask him for some help, he gonna help you.
Try to call my phone right now. You could be affected. Somebody call my phone right now. I guarantee I ain't gonna answer the phone. Guarantee you. And I might not even call you back, might not send you a text message. And it ain't got nothing to do with what I'm doing. I just don't want to talk to you right now. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's
I ain't saying your personality type is, to where you don't want to be bothered, but overall, you're a pretty nice guy, my love. Like, let's stop. Okay, let's freaking
You
stop.
just saw me on, you know what I'm saying? You just saw me on my stream that you was on.
Well, you will pop off.
That people
just because you're a nice guy don't mean that you're going to be a pushover.
What I'm saying is you saw people that grew up with me on my stream say, I thought dude was mean until they talked to me. You know how many people actually get the luxury to actually have these conversations with me? So most of the time people think, you know why people thought I was mean? Like, I went to high school with the brother that was in the comments that I put up, and he said I thought you was mean until I talked to you. Do you know why people thought I was mean? And they not the only people. He's not the only one in my high school that said that. It was a certain way that I walked around where people thought I was mean. And I wasn't going out of my way trying to do good deeds and have conversations with folks. And sometimes that meanness came out, man. I ain't trying to go into that, but I'm saying, like, of course, if somebody comes to me and I rock with them, I'm going to go out of my way. I'm not go out of my way, but I'm going to help the person.
My love, you help strangers. I got mad at you. I'm like, my love, why would you let that nigga in your car? You don't know him. He could have robbed you.
The people that's closest to me done robbed me. You know what I'm saying? So I can get my good deeds. Again, I can get my good deeds from helping the stranger. Sometimes I trust them more than the folks that I know. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what it is. I'm just saying, like,
all I was trying to say was, If you got pretty solid stand-up guys like my husband,
I'm responsible. I'm studious. I'm that. I'm a serious dude, you know. And for the most part, people see it on my face all the time. People just don't pick up on cues. I'm irritated 90% of the time. People just keep talking to me. So I don't. It ain't my fault that people can't, you know what I'm saying, receive them cues. But I'm telling you, I done had people come to me after I done been in public places, and they'd come up to me. They was like, man, that lady was talking to you, weren't caring nothing about what she was saying. I'm like, I'm glad somebody picked it up. Because the lady that was talking to me obviously didn't, because I was written all over my face. Like, it's just a certain way that I walk around. And I'm letting you know I'm irritated and annoyed, but most people don't pick up on that. But it'd be somebody that observed it, and they'd come up to me like, man, you ain't caring nothing about, that lady was irritating you, wasn't she? I'm like, yep. You know what I'm saying?
how are you married? Like, how?
Because as I said, with it's certain people that can relate to what I'm saying in regards to my personality type. We are a certain way to certain people, you know. So when somebody comes in, like the dude from high school, say he thought I was mean till he talked to me. Once we rock with you enough, and we gonna rock with a select few, but once we let you in, like, it ain't nothing that we won't do for a person, you know. So once somebody's able to break through all of that exterior that we put, that exterior that we got up, and we let you in, like, man, it ain't nothing that we won't do for said person. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't nothing that we won't do. But it takes a lot for us to deal with people on a consistent basis. You didn't see me, the people in my face, you didn't see me trying to deal with a person on a consistent basis, or people trying to deal with me consistently. It don't go too well. Eventually, I'm gonna get to the point where, like, man, why is they calling me? Why they keep calling me? Why they texting me? I'm annoyed. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I mean. I'm not trying to say I'm a bad dude, but I know when it comes, I know nice dudes. Like, I know dudes that's just nice to a point. Like, if I got a certain type of stuff, man, I'm not finna help everybody in my family. There's certain people that I'm finna be like, nah, and we gonna have problems. You know, I ain't finna go like that. But as far as like helping strangers, like, man, it is what it is. If I'm in the mood, if I'm feeling good, yeah, I might help a stranger because I know I'm gonna get that back. You know, I also deal with laws of the universe and attraction, man. I be having to balance out the bad that I done put out. So, you know what I'm saying? You got to do good from time to time, man. But I know at the end of the day, man, I know my irritation level, like my tolerance is not that high. You know, so if I'm dealing with people on a consistent, but man, you just saw me, man, just wake up and not want to go deal with, you done heard it. You know what I'm saying? And these people ain't did nothing. They just talking. So it ain't like they did nothing and got on my nerves, man. They just talking. It's harmless talking, and I'm annoyed. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't nothing that they did, and I'm just irritated. So that's the part where I'm working on myself. So I'm able to admit that. Like, that's a flaw. That's a flaw. That's an area where I feel like I need to improve. Like, I be extra irritated for stuff that ain't nothing.
But all I'm trying to say is, if it was a spectrum of, these are the guys that would be helpful and loving and caring, and people who would just be like, fuck these bitches. Like, I think you would fall more towards that.
What I'm saying.
So if you would be like, fuck these hoes, like, that speaks volumes.
It really don't. If you
knew
me from back in the day, is what I'm saying. Like, it really don't. It wouldn't throw you off that I'm like, what you saying? Fuck these hoes. Like, why is that surprising? Like, why would I deal with these hoes? I'm
not even saying fuck these hoes, but like women in general, not necessarily just hoes, but like, if a female is not on code at a particular point in her life, and then she wants to come back and clean it up and do X, Y, and Z, like, I feel like you would be more, again, open to weighing it out to see how it is. Like, you would consider it. But you are saying, like, nah, even your type is like, nah, bitch,
but
you fucked up, deal with it.
That's what I told you. I could never be placed in a box. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a type. Because I can, both sides, man. I told you back when I used to figure out that chicks was a certain type of way in high school. That's over with. Basically, when I figured out they was on some whole shit in high school, I'm like, that's over with. I'm not being associated with that. Like, that's over with. Uncle Snoop now taught me early. So that, I don't know where that's surprising that. I ain't finna accept none of that.
Now, Eric is a Scorpio.
That used to be an instant turn off. Because, like I said, Uncle Snoop now raised me. You know, and I wasn't never the most respectful dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially towards women. So I'm not even gonna lie about that, fam. Like, I wasn't the most respectful dude in relationships. I wasn't the nicest dude in relationships. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not finna front like I ever was that completely. I know I wasn't. I would be foul, and I wouldn't give a fuck about emotions and feelings and things like that not more than half the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not even gonna lie to the people. I don't want people to have a certain type of perception. Like, I always been a so-called nice guy. I haven't, fam. You know, and that's me being transparent. That's part of my evolution and growth. I might semi be that now, and I feel like I still got work to do. But I never was that. I may have been responsible. I may have did what I needed to do as far as like a young man and things like that half the time. But man, when it came to treatment of women, no. Nah, man, I will curse you out with the quickness. Like, you know what I'm saying? I have a temper, which is why you shouldn't be surprised. Like, I have a bad temper. So the moment a chick could be on some stuff that I ain't fooling with, man, what is you on? You know, so I know I contributed a lot to toxicity and things like that because I had a short temper, man. You doing some foul shit and I find out about it, I'm finna let you know. And that's finna be a problem. You know, so and even if I don't find out some shit that you did and we just you did something I ain't like.
No, now I'm curious. Now, we went to school together. You knew of me back then. Did you go to middle school? You went to middle school with me?
Went to middle school.
You went to high school with me?
I went to high school 1 year with you.
But nonetheless, you knew of me, right?
What you mean knew of you?
Did you know of me?
Only thing I knew is that you rapped and old girls you rapped with, she semi-liked me. That's, man, I didn't know no history of things like that.
I'm saying, like, but did you hear about me?
No, other than the rap part.
See what I'm saying, y'all? Because you're a little big sis, you know. What you say, we guard our reputation with our lives. Amen. You know, but people will swear up and down, my love, you know. I'm a street hoe, and, you know, I heard somebody say I was a stripper.
But see, that's what
How?
I'm saying.
Because I had a tattoo. I was a stripper.
Right. Now let's rewind to
So my husband, he over here saying he don't deal with them hoes. So that speaks volumes with your little big sis. Okay? Was not no ex street hoe stripper. No, y'all got me fucked up. Okay? Y'all got me fucked up. So let that clear any rumors. Man, my love, they be trying to comfort you. They be trying to comfort me, my love.
I'm just saying, historically speaking, y'all ain't finna see me associate with that type of woman.
Okay.
I disconnected myself every time I found out. Soon as somebody gave me some information, I'm like, hold up. And then I started digging. I'm like, nah, I ain't finna associate myself with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't never going. And again, I'm not trying to before people misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm a bad person. I'm just saying, man, I'm a work in progress like everybody else. I don't want people to think that I'm putting myself in this nice guy box. I've never done that, and I never will. Because I know I mistreated plenty of women back in my day verbally. You know what I'm saying? That was my thing. You know, I got it. You didn't see me. I don't even want to do that. Get personal, but man, you had just seen you didn't see what my temper.
Seen you
You
snap.
didn't see what my temper can do.
Yeah, I
seen what my mouth can do. So you don't think that I never spat like I didn't spat out on some of everybody, fam. Damn. So it ain't. That's why I tell people.
But my love, you still a nice dude though.
I told man.
Okay, we can't say nice. You still you're a very good, decent.
I'm all about respect.
Man.
I'm all about respect.
A respectable man.
You as long as you
so
respect me.
For you to be like fuck y'all females, that speaks about. That's all I'm trying to say.
What I'm saying.
But you saying it shouldn't say all that because you not even that. Okay, we done.
Yeah,
We're done.
It shouldn't, because I was raised. By my people. You know, shout out to Too Short, Snoop, Q.
Too Short,
all them.
Bounce that ass.
Yeah, they was letting us know, they putting us on game. You got it. We were studying them pimps and all that. That's what they came up off of, man. They put us on game. So we could talk all of what we want to talk about, the Too Shorts and all the dudes that was influenced by the pimping era. But that's how a lot of us got game. We was raised by them.
Let me find out my husband is.
Too Short them is my daddy them age. So that's who raised us, fam. If you my age, you was raised off of Too Short. You was raised off of that. You was raised off of that. That put us on game. They told us how to. They told us.
Mala, you are still a decent guy. So for a decent, responsible, respectable guy to be like, no, there's no remorse. There's no backtracking. That speaks volumes. That's all I'm trying to say, Maximilian. And he just do not want to accept my decent titling.
I'm just saying, like, decent is different from nice.
Okay, we'll say you a decent dude, my love.
I just know
okay, maybe my adjectives are off.
You could probably ask the chicks that I used to talk to back in the day. They would not say I'm nice.
Okay, we gonna say you a pretty decent dude.
Now. I'm just saying, man. I gotta keep it true. I gotta keep it honest with myself, with everybody. I know, like, it's dudes that I look at and I aspire to be like, as far as them being like nice and generous and things like that. Mm-hmm. It's people that I look up to in that regard. I'm not even close to that. As far as just my attitude, my personality, things like that. You know, if you do not have a conversation with me, and that might take a minute, like, you probably gonna think I'm the meanest dude on the planet. You know, just for the way I'm walking around and moving around. And sometimes after you had a conversation with me, you might still think that, depending on the type of day that I'm having. That don't mean that I'm not a helpful individual. I'm just saying, man, just from a personality perspective, man, I done plenty of dirt, you know, and I'm still dealing with some of the consequences from that dirt internally, you know. So I'm a work in progress, you know. So I got a long way to go before I consider myself a completely nice guy, you know. So I'm not going.
I'm saying you a decent dude, man.
Right? You can call me whatever. I take everything and put it to self. You can call me whatever you want to call me. The person on the chat can call me whatever they want to call me. But I've been with myself longer than anybody. You know, so I know where I'm at, you know, and I got a certain bar and standard that I have for myself, and I'm not nowhere near close to that, you know. So I got work I need to put in that regard. So sometimes I stop people from placing certain labels on me because, man, that can do some things to a person, man, when they know they not where they want to be yet, you know. So all I'm saying is, because people will take stuff like this, because we on a platform, people will take this and they'll put me in a box.
Right.
And I'm like, don't put me in that box. I ain't never been put in any of these boxes, so don't do that. Nice guys finish last. Sometimes I didn't finish last because I wasn't the nice guy. You know what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is I didn't play on almost both sides. I didn't play on like all the sides because I never was in a box. So I didn't been that dude that wasn't nice that finished before the nice guy. Matter of fact, I didn't been the dude that was toxic and then the chick ended up with somebody better than I was at the time. So I done been that toxic dude that, now she with the nice guy. That's the so-called finish last. So again, man, it's all perspective. I ain't always been that. So now I could probably be considered decent or nice, whatever. But I didn't been in positions to where it's like, nah, I was that toxic dude and now she cool. You know, because at that time I was the worst person you should have been talking to at that moment. You know, so I know and understand I got work to put in. I know nice dudes. I wish I could be like some of them. You know what I'm saying? I ain't that. You know, I got stuff that I got to deal with in regards to that. So just that box, I don't put myself in that just yet. You know, I just look at myself. I deal with respect. You know what I'm saying? You respect me, I respect you. But if the respect ain't there, I'm liable to don't play with me. You know. So when I figure out you don't respect yourself, which is these women we talking about, what Goody Mob them say? CeeLo say you gotta respect yourself before I can. You don't respect yourself, man, I might not have that much respect for you.
Yeah, and again, I know you're trying to wrap this up, but I think it also speaks to the fact that a lot of these females don't respect themselves when they are saying that responsible men are boring or corny. Like, that speaks to how you see yourself, in my opinion. Because obviously you don't value yourself enough to prioritize a guy that is respectable or responsible. Like, again, that to me, that's a huge reflection upon you. So.
Yep. And shout out to the sisters that's dealing with brothers such as myself that, you know what I'm saying, we got the temper, we got the anger, we got issues that we dealing with that, of course, we can't vent to society because we done been taught to hold stuff in. So sisters got to deal with that. I know I'm a handful to deal with. Because I ain't the most vocal and verbal person emotionally. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just not that. I was raised old school. We tend to hold stuff in. You know, and that's what causes a lot of the anger and irritation. You know, so shout out to the sisters that have the patience, because you got to have patience dealing with a brother such as myself. And I know a large portion of the male population or the black male population reflects kind of the energy that I have. Yeah. Where we feel like we ain't never had anybody listening to us. And we feel like if we do start complaining and venting that the world gonna view us a certain type of way, that leads to rage. That leads to anger. And that's what I'm talking about. You know, so I got a lot of that. I got a lot of that anger and that rage inside of me just due to just society in general and my dealings with society. So give me about another 5, 10 years, and I'll probably be that completely nice guy that everybody is thinking that I am. You know, everybody think I'm like a Buddhist monk and I'm extra peaceful. That's just not me. And I've seen a lot of people. I've seen a lot of people refer to me. That's why I'm talking about it. You know, I just seen a lot of people give me a label that I ain't necessarily too fond of. Like, then when I act so-called out of character, like, or it ain't even out of character, it's within my character, they just don't know the truth about me. You know, so when people see me act a certain type of way, they be shocked. Fam, don't y'all be shocked when y'all see me on here cursing. Don't be shocked when y'all see me up here get riled up. Like, that's me, fam. That's me. I'm not an overly peaceful monk that just gonna accept and allow any and everything. Like, that's not that. I will go off and I will fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I will do all of that within the quickness. And sometimes I might do it when I'm not supposed to. So I'm a work in progress, man. You know, I strive to be that fully nice guy. I'm not there. I got about 5, 10 more years of work before I'm able to put myself in. I'm just being real. You know, I feel like more brothers got to be real and honest when it comes to that. Like I said, I'm not necessarily saying I'm bad. Like I said, decent is a good word because it's in the middle. That's in the middle. That's bad, nice, decent.
Mala, you amazing to me.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But you know, decent is the word, you know. But nice, I just feel like that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like there's a certain type of person you got to be for you to be considered, like, for that, like, that's a nice guy. You know, I know I'm not there yet, you know. And a lot of times I put on masks. So sometimes even when I'm being generous, and that's me being honest, sometimes when I'm being generous, I might not have even wanted to do that. Like, it's just like I ain't want to cause conflict. I ain't want to be confrontational at this point, because if I did, it might lead to this. So sometimes I'm putting on a mask. Even when you see me, it's like customer service. Like, sometimes I'm dealing with people because I don't want it to lead to something else, you know, because I know how my temper can get. That ain't really genuine to me. So I got a long way to go before I actually feel like I done did. Now, I do some genuinely nice things, but sometimes it's like, man, because I feel like if I tell this person something, then this person gonna say something I don't like, and then now I'm finna go off. So sometimes I might have accepted things, or I might have helped people out just off the strength of that. And that ain't genuine, man. That ain't genuine, man. I helped the person because I ain't wanted to lead to something else, because I feel like I could have popped off if they said something I ain't like. So I just helped them just to quickly get rid of the situation. Man, that ain't cool. Those intentions ain't pure, man. So I got a long way to go with that, man. And shout out to all the brothers that's working on themselves, man.
Yeah, shout out to y'all. Y'all super dope. Love y'all. But again, you guys, I appreciate it so much for you guys pulling up with us, giving your commentary, your feedback, your support, donations, all of it. Because you do not have to do it and you don't have to be here. So thank you so much. And big shout out to my husband, Eric, for pulling up with us. This man works, 7 days a week, every day, all day, up bright and early. And when I asked him to come on to do the dope discussion with us, he said, yeah, he'll do it. And again, he's fresh off the gym, you know, and so we appreciate him for his time. A lot of y'all been begging me, oh, bring Eric on. When I say he's always busy. So anytime that he pulls up with us, we do have to show gratitude, because look, I'm tired already.
No, it's hot.
It's hot. Oh, damn. No, that's because you didn't hear, you amped up.
Nah, it's hot.
My love, that thing is it's on 75. That is kind of
hot.
Okay, but we gonna wrap it up. Take some showers, chill out, make these damn vegan tacos, and we gonna chill. But again, you guys, thank you guys so much for all your love and support. We do not take it for granted. Shout out to the responsible men, the men that are working on themselves. You are not going unrecognized. We appreciate you. We salute you. And we hope that you continue to prosper and evolve and grow and elevate and achieve all of the success that you are seeking. All right. But ladies, let's also get our stuff together, because we are missing out. It's going to come a point in time to where you're going to be seeking these responsible men to be a part of your life, and they're going to want nothing to do with you. All right. So let's do things the right way while we can. All right. But much love and peace to my crown heads. Y'all are the dopest. We'll see y'all in the next one. Peace, y'all.